Tonight, the Wareham Gatemen looking to snap a 6-game losing streak as they take on the Chatham Anglers for the second time in 2021. Welcome into the Gatemen pregame show. Jack Sedegan alongside Nick Magas. Now, Nick, two teams that have had their struggles this season, but they also have two of the best players in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and Owen Diodati for Wareham and Lyle Miller-Green for Chatham.
Thanks, Jack. Yep, Owen Diodati tied for the Cape Cod League with league lead with 6 home runs. Lyle Miller-Green right up there with him with 6. Chase DeLauder as well in a 3-way tie for the league lead in home runs. With both of these guys batting third tonight, showing off a ton of pop for the two respective teams.
Now, the last time these two teams met, Nick, a 4-4 tie, but an example of some of the missed opportunities Wareham's had, leaving some points on the table this summer. It was a tie game where Wareham out-hit Chatham 8-1.
Yes, leaving runners on base, leaving points on the table, as you said, was the story of that game, but it also just a good example of the types of tough breaks that they've had this year. At 8-1 out-hit, well, the Gatemen out-hit Chatham 8-1 in that game. The one hit they gave up, a grand slam. That was all 4 runs scored by Chatham in that game, and in a game that ended in a 4-4 tie. Just really unfortunate, not the way you wanted that one to end up.
Now, this might be a bit of opportunity for the Bats to turn it around. Over the 6-game losing streak, that's been the struggle, Nick. I believe only 12 runs over 6 games, but 4 runs last night. That was a bit of an encouraging sign, and this is a Chatham pitching staff that isn't that strong.
A 4.25 team ERA, that's 9th out of 10 teams in the Cape Cod Baseball League. You're right, it's been tough sledding for the Gatemen in the last few weeks, but this is a chance for them to come alive against the pitching staff that's had its struggles.
And a pitching staff that's issued 101 walks. That's second in the league. So, in my eyes, a chance for the Gatemen to be patient at the plate and wait for their opportunities.
And patience has been a theme for the Gatemen all season, or lack thereof. A couple guys that have struggled, especially more recently, attacking pitches in early in counts, guys swinging at pitches that necessarily aren't their pitches to hit. And when you're struggling, when you're in a slump, that can be something that's difficult to do. They need to get to the plate. They need to be selective in a game like this and take advantage of the free bases that the Angler pitchers are undoubtedly going to give them.
Don Snedden, the manager for the Gatemen, meeting at home plate with Tom Holliday, the manager of the Chatham Anglers. Now, Nick, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, no.
It's been a tough losing streak for Wareham. Everybody wants to win. We want to win up here in the booth. The fans want to win. The guys in the dugout want to win. What does Wareham have to do tonight to snap that losing streak and get back on track?
They need to put together a complete performance. There are games where they have pitched well. There are games where they have hit well. But when the pitching is there, the hitting is not. When the hitting is there, the pitching is not. And sometimes, even against Orleans a couple nights ago, when both of them are there, the defense doesn't show up. 4 errors in that game. So for the Gatemen tonight, the challenge is just going to be put together all 3 phases of the game, do them at par, if not better than that, and escape in a game against a not very good, for lack of a better way of putting it, Chatham team with a win tonight.
We'll take a look at the West standings. Bourne Braves are in first at 17-2-3 with 37 points. They've won 6 in a row. They're followed by Cotuit, who's 7.5 games back at 11-11. Falmouth 9.5 games back at 8-11-2. They've lost 3 in a row. Wareham tied with Falmouth 9.5 back at 7-12-4. And Hyannis 15.5 games back at 3-19.
Gatemen with a chance to jump in the standings just a little bit. They're 4 points behind Cotuit. As you said, Jack, that's 2 games back. And battling for that second spot, one of those first two teams in each division are going to get the playoff spot. Right now, Bourne running away with it, and the Gatemen, along with Cotuit and Falmouth, are battling it out. A win here would be huge to keep their season alive in those standings.
We'll step aside for the national anthem in a moment. Give you the lineups when we come back on the Gatemen pregame show. First pitch moments away between Wareham and Chatham.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the Wareham Gatemen, the 9 other teams, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2021 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize
the Yawkey Foundation, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod,
Badger Sport, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cent Savings Bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Marys,
Fairway Financial, Ocean Spray, Seaside Le Mans, Rogers Gray, Franklin Sports,
Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce,
Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Highness Area Chamber of Commerce,
HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Quest Diagnostics, Cape Space to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
The Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask for your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or any other intimidating actions will not be tolerated. Thank you. We ask parents to keep their children off the roofs of the dugouts, away from the batting cages, and out of the bullpen areas. Please throw rubbish into the barrels and recycle the aluminum cans in special bins located around the park.
Ladies and gentlemen, state law prohibits the use of any tobacco product on school property. Thanks for keeping us in compliance.
Cameras and video cameras are permitted inside Spillane Field for personal photos but cannot be used to reproduce the game, players, or on-field events without the express written permission of the Wareham Gatemen. Use of camera or video equipment must not interfere with other fans' enjoyment of the game.
Nearly set for first pitch at Veterans Field. A massive crowd filing in. Chatham averaging the largest attendance numbers in the league, just over 2,100 fans at each game. The starting lineup for your Wareham Gatemen. It's a lefty, Tres Gonzalez, leading things off in center field. He's followed by Sean McLean, the DH. Batting third is Owen Diodati in left field, where he's been all season. In the cleanup spot, Tommy Troy at second. Jimmy Crooks, the birthday boy, batting fifth. And catching, Yohandy Morales sixth at first base. Cade Curd batting seventh in right field. Cameron James, the third baseman, batting eighth. And in the ninth spot, Jim Jarvis at shortstop. On the mound for the Chatham Anglers is Bryce Osmond out of Oklahoma State. Osmond on the season, 1-1 with a 4.5 ERA in 10 innings. He's given up 11 hits and 8 walks with 13 Ks.
Wasn't his best year at Oklahoma State this year, a 7.42 ERA across 57 innings pitched. But has the ability to go deep into some ball games. He was a starter there for most of this season. Longest outing was against Texas at home. He went 8 innings in that game.
Wareham trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. We mentioned in the pregame show that this could be the pitching staff to do it against. A lot of free passes issued by the Anglers this season.
Well, this isn't just a game for the Gatemen to snap the losing streak, but it's also a chance at a point in their season where they can really start to get things back on track. It's a winnable game against Chatham tonight, and then 2 in a row on the road at Hyannis. So this is not just a chance for the Gatemen to snap the streak, but really put a few wins together and start to get the ball rolling and make a late push in the divisional standings at the end of this season.
They are 2 games back from second place Katuitt, tied with Falmouth for third, and 6 games ahead of last place Hyannis in the West. This is an East-West matchup. Chatham, the 4th place team in the East. Tres Gonzalez, a center fielder, waiting for a wipe down of home plate. Lights on at Veterans Field. The fans are everywhere, up the first and third base line, in the hill and right, in center field. And Gonzalez working his way into the box. Righty-lefty matchup to start the game. Gonzalez has reached safely in 10 of his last 11 games. First pitch to him is a grounder to the right side, scooped up by Soretti and tossed to first for the first out of the game.
Well, we talked about patience pregame being a factor in this game, and Tres Gonzalez went after the first pitch in that situation. Looked like a pretty good pitch to hit, but once again, just a theme, grounding out on a hittable pitch and instead of working the starter deep into the first count of the game, goes down on one pitch, not the way the Gatemen wanted to start this one offensively.
Sean McLean at the plate now, DHing today. First pitch to him is a breaking ball upstairs.
A very sure-handed defender at third base is McLean. That's where we've seen him for the first few games he's played here in Wareham, but the designated hitter tonight.
And that pitch is swung on, looped foul to right field. A ball and a strike on McLean. His fourth game now for the Gatemen. He's 3 for 11 with a couple RBIs. He's also drawn 2 walks.
We talk about plate discipline. Sean McLean, probably the best we have in that category.
Top of the first, 1 out, nobody on. Scoreless game. That pitch, a fastball high and tight to make it 2 balls and a strike to McLean. The 2-1, cut on and missed. Osmond working from the windup. Defense playing McLean straight up. That pitch dropped, a fastball that missed outside. A full count for McLean.
Heavy attack with the fastball early for Osmond. It sits in the low 90s. It plays up in the zone. That's where he attacked McLean a moment ago. Here's the 3-2.
Payoff pitch, hammered to left field. Britt backing up, and this one is gone. Sean McLean with a solo home run in the first, and Wareham jumps out 1-0. His first Cape League home run.
The left fielder from the University of Alabama, number 12, Owen.
Well, that was just one too many fastballs to a very good hitter in Sean McLean. Came with 4 in a row, and on the 5th one, Sean McLean was geared up for it, stayed right on top of it, and drove it into the left center field gap, well over the wall, and gives the Gatemen a 1-0 lead.
Owen Diodati at the plate fouls the first pitch back. So 2 batters into the game, Wareham up 1-0. 1 out and nobody on for Diodati. Playing left field today. He started there in all 24 games of the season for Wareham. That pitch line to the left side, caught by the shortstop Rivera.
Well, it's an out for Diodati. Rivera in the right place at the right time, but a good sign for the Gatemen. Each of these last 2 batters hitting the ball hard. They're doing it early in the game, and a chance to add to this lead in the next few innings, just to give some insurance runs to the man on the mound for the first time this season, Mac Anglin. You'll see him in the bottom of the first.
Top of the first, 2 outs, nobody on for the cleanup man, Tommy Troy. First pitch to him, breaking ball that swung on and missed. 1-0 Wareham. Following the solo home run by Sean McLean to left center. That pitch looped into right field, base hit for Troy. A 2-out single for Stanford's Tommy Troy, and it keeps the rally going for the Gatemen in the first.
Well, this is where, if you're Osmond, you want to start to slow it down. He's working very quickly, and he's been barreled up by 3 consecutive batters for the Gatemen. Take a minute on the mound, collect yourself, and then go back to work. But he's coming with pitch after pitch, and he's clearly not comfortable right now, and the Gatemen are seeing him well. He needs to work on getting these hitters off balance here in the later part of this inning.
Troy, the lone base runner at first. Jimmy Crooks at the plate. The first pitch to him is chopped foul at Wareham's dugout. 0-1 to Crooks, the birthday boy today. His 20th birthday.
I didn't know he was only 19 for the majority of this season, but he's
Mature.
playing like he's a lot older than that.
And a mature guy. Throw over to first to check on Troy. Nearly got him, but off of Miller Green's glove. Troy was caught off the bag, but Miller Green missed the delivery.
And that one actually hit the first base umpire. That's what kept Tommy Troy at first base. It had a chance to go to the wall on the right field side. And after Troy looked like he might have been picked off, leaning towards second base, got a break.
The 0-1 on the way to Crooks. Swung on and lifted to left field. That drops just foul. That was a couple feet foul in the left field corner, right in front of the 340 sign. Makes it 0-2 to Crooks. Tommy Troy on first and 2 away in the first frame of the game. Wareham up 1-0 following Sean McLean's shot to left center, his first Cape League home run. The 0-2 pitch, fouled off.
Well, with 2 strikes, Jimmy Crooks is trying to stay in that direction. Fouled one off to the left side right there, and the pitch before that, of course, a long fly ball down the left field line that just missed turning into extra bases. Crooks has gone that way for extra bases a number of times this season. And don't think it's an accident. That's where he's trying to shoot the baseball with an 0-2 count.
Another 0-2 pitch. Troy on the move. The pitch fouled straight back. And Troy will have to return to first. Crooks battling with an 0-2 count. He has hits in his last 2 games. That was after an 0-for-14 stretch.
And the 0-for-14 stretch followed a 9-game hitting streak.
I was about to say.
It's been a streaky year for Jimmy Crooks, but the one thing that's remained consistent for him, his defense.
Been terrific behind the plate. He's thrown out 8 runners on the season. Here's another 0-2. Breaking ball that missed high.
And the arm's what's fun to talk about. It's what's fun to call. It's what's fun to think about when you're talking about a great catcher. But the thing that really makes him valuable, as we talked about a number of times this season, his pitch calling and his receiving and his blocking behind the plate.
Hitting .254 with a couple home runs and 6 RBIs at the plate. Throw over to first, got Troy. He was nearly picked off earlier in the at-bat and then gets picked off for the 3rd out. Wareham does get one, though, off a solo home run from Sean McLean. We head to the bottom of the 1st on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. Badger Sport is a leading provider of superior quality team uniforms and performance athletic wear, including performance t-shirts, fleeces, shorts, and pants. From the fields to the stands and at every practice along the way, Founders Sport Group makes authentic, quality apparel accessible at the speed of the sport. Visit foundersport.com today.
Bottom of the 1st we go, 1-0 Wareham following Sean McLean's first Cape League home run, a solo shot to left center field. And leading things off for the Anglers will be the switch hitter Danny Soretti, Caden Trenkle, and Lyle Miller Green. On the mound for Wareham, is Mac Anglin, the right-hander out of Clemson.
Well, the debut for the Gatemen starter for the second consecutive day. This time it's Anglin out of Marengo, Ohio. It's a fastball, curveball, slider mix for the 6'4" redshirt sophomore.
The first pitch to Sughrue is a fastball for a strike on the inner half. Sughrue hitting .300 with no homers and 3 RBIs, playing second base today. The 0-1, another fast. Sughrue on a 4-game hit streak. That pitch cut on and missed. Now a ball and 2 strikes to Sughrue.
Anglin went ahead in the count, has 2 breaking balls to choose from. The curveball has more depth, the slider a little bit flatter.
1-2 pitch called, strike 3. Fastball on the high outside corner.
Or you could just go with the fastball. 95 on the gun. Burned the outside corner, and Sughrue down on strikes.
Caden Trenkle, the left-handed center fielder, to the plate. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Wareham. The first pitch to Trenkle is a breaking ball on the high outside corner for strike 1. Cameron James playing up at third. The 0-1 is a curveball in for a strike. Oh, 2 pitch. Lifted high into the air. That'll stay fair on the third base line. James backing up behind the bag and makes the catch. 2 quick outs for Mac Anglin. And the dangerous Lyle Miller Green coming to the plate, playing first base today. Wareham up 1-0 in the last of the first.
Anglin touching a couple 95s earlier in this ball game. Both of them recorded outs, a strikeout and then the pop out, both fastballs at 95 miles per hour.
First pitch to Miller Green is fouled back.
And we've had good luck with Clemson pitchers on this Gatemen staff, so I have high hopes for Anglin later in this season. Nick Clayton, Jeffrey Gilbert.
Him and Rob Hughes are the 2 acquisitions for Wareham from Clemson. Clayton and Gilbert have since left, as that one is lined to the right side, caught by Troy. A 1-2-3 inning to start off Mac Anglin's Cape League debut, and Wareham up 1 as we head to the second.
Baseball Factory's vision is to guide both players and parents through the college recruiting process into professionally trained players in order to find a school that is the right fit, both academically and athletically. Contact us at 877-752-6025.
Come on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located on Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the delicious eats or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. BB's is one of our team meal partners.
With professional coaches that provide personalized world-class baseball training, Baseball Factory helps every player take his game to the next level. Get a pro evaluation by calling 877-752-6025.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub food. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. Join us for outdoor dining and drinks under the tent or for live music, located on Route 105 in Marion.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to coordinating and delivering the highest quality healthcare service.
1-0 Wareham. We head to the second with Crooks, Morales, and Kern. The 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for Wareham. Bryce Osmond still on the mound. And the first gave up a solo home run to Sean McLean and a base hit to Tommy Troy, who was later picked off for the third out.
So we send Crooks back to the plate after he got his at-bat started in the top of the first inning.
The first pitch to him is a breaking ball for a strike.
Crooks was quickly down 0-2 in that last at-bat, so probably the only guy in the ballpark that was okay with Troy getting picked off.
The 0-1, a fastball for a strike on the outer edge of the plate at 93 miles per hour. Osmond looked hittable in the first, Nick. Crooks leading off the second. The 0-2 missed just outside. Came again with the fastball.
Not just looked hittable, but was hittable. 3 of the 4 guys that the Gatemen sent to the plate in that inning barreled him up.
The 1-2 from the windup. Fouled back. Another fastball. Crooks stayed with it and sent it to the backstop. Crooks hitting .254, a couple homers, 6 RBIs. The second 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jimmy Crooks.
Jimmy 1 for 4 yesterday with a base hit in the Gatemen's 8-4 loss to Brewster.
2-2, a fastball outside. Crooks was behind 0-2, now has worked the count full. Being played straight up defensively, can hit it anywhere in the ballpark. Payoff pitch is a fastball upstairs. Crooks walks to lead off the second.
Struggles continue for Osmond for the time being. Ahead in the count to Jimmy Crooks, and not only fell behind to ultimately lose him, but it was the first batter of the inning, and the leadoff man is aboard by way of the walk.
Yohandy Morales, the first baseman, to the plate. 1-0 Wareham in the top of the second. Crooks on first after the leadoff walk. First pitch to Morales is a breaking ball upstairs. Morales has been struggling recently, 1 for his last 18. The 1-0, another breaking ball fouled back.
But one of the better swings in this Gateman order and plenty of raw power.
Crooks a few steps off first. A glance over there from Osmond. Now he throws over to first late. He has a nice pickoff move, already got Troy.
Essentially got Troy twice. The first one was dropped by Miller Green, but Tommy Troy was dead in the water on both moves from Osmond.
The 1-1, a curveball high and inside. Now 2-1 to Morales. Has a hole in the right side as Lyle Miller Green is on the first base bag, and Soretti is slightly shaded over from his second base spot to the center of the field as the 2-1 is cut on and missed. Fastball at 91 miles per hour.
Keeping it up in the zone is what Osmond has tried to do in the early part of this game. When he gets in trouble is when he leaves it belt high. That's what he did to McLean, Diodati, and Troy. Trying to keep it right at the hands.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, a fastball just outside. It's a full count for Yohandy Morales. Crooks on first with nobody out in the top of the second. 1-0 Wareham. Throw over to first, again late.
Well, Crooks has a read on that move now. He was at the plate when Tommy Troy was picked off, so gotten to see it from a few different angles, and has Osmond timed up here as he gets a short lead off first base.
The payoff pitch. Lined into center field. That'll get down. Crooks heading for third. He's there safely. Morales to second. Slides in safe. Just beat the tag.
Well, hats off to Yohandy Morales putting his head down and taking an aggressive turn around first base. Caden Trenkle, the center fielder, had a little bit of trouble coming up with that one. It wasn't much. It was just a slight bobble, but Morales not breaking stride, testing him, and taking second base.
A walk and a double, and Wareham now has runners on second and third with nobody out in the top of the second. Cade Kern coming to the plate. Kern in right field out of Ohio State. The first pitch to him is a fastball for a strike.
Batting average of just 177 for Cade Kern, but he was 2 for 4 yesterday and really starting to turn it around at the dish.
That pitch outside. Now a ball and a strike to Kern. And the Morales play actually scored a single, advancing to second on an error by the center fielder. The 1-1 is a fastball low. Big situation for Kern, who hasn't had an RBI since July 2nd. He's hitting 197 with 2 homers and 11 RBIs on the season. The 2-1 is chopped to the left side, backhanded by Rivera. He throws to first, and it's off the bag. Kern is safe, Crook scores, and Morales advances to third. The throw was to the left of the bag. Miller Green tried to go behind his back with a tag, but missed.
Well, Miller Green is a big target at 6'5", and that's just a bad throw by Rivera. No other way to explain that, as he had plenty of time to get it over there to cut down Cade Kern. Miller Green had to stretch, couldn't stretch far enough, and it drives in another run for the Gatemen.
2-0 Wareham, still nobody out in the top of the second. Runners on the corners for Cameron James. A throw over to first to check on Kern is late. James has struggled thus far, Nick. 0 for 16. He's drawn a walk. Still looking for his first Cape League hit. And the pitch to him is a fastball that misses.
Don't want to have to keep saying that. Cameron James still looking for his first Cape League hit, but we will for as long as we have to. Really rooting for him to pick it up right here with a runner in scoring position and another at first.
1-0 count for James. The pitch, a comebacker to the mound. Osmond going to the plate. Morales caught in a pickle. Morales trying to stay away from a tag, but eventually run down by the catcher Romero. Junior Kern goes to second, and James safe at first. 1 away now in the top of the second.
That is an elementary base running mistake from Yohandy Morales. The infield is playing at normal depth, so if on a ground ball to any of those players, he should be able to score, except back to the pitcher. He took off on a ball right back to the pitcher. It's an easy throw for Osmond back to the plate. And for the second time in 3 nights, Yohandy Morales is cut down on a ground ball trying to take home.
The base running miscues have been a problem for the Gatemen this season. The first pitch to Jim Jarvis lifted into shallow right field. Hogan coming on, calling everybody off, makes the catch. Kern holds at second, James at first. It's 2-0 Wareham in the top of the second, and now 2 away. Back to the top of the lineup with Tres Gonzalez. Gonzalez grounded out to second his first time up. He swung at the first pitch. Harrison Eaton interviewed him before the game, Nick. He said he's looking for fastballs early in the count, and the first pitch to him is a fastball for a strike on the outer half.
Well, that's good news for Tres Gonzalez, because that is exactly what Bryce Osmond is going to throw you. It's what he's been doing all night. It's a hittable pitch, and Gonzalez should be geared up for it here.
A look at Kern at second. The 0-1 is fouled away. It was another fastball. But Gonzalez, a bit of a slow start to the season, and lately playing much better. Earned himself a spot near the top of the order recently, hitting usually first or second. But he's reached safely in 10 of his last 11. Last night he was 2 for 5 with an RBI. an example of some of the great stuff he's been doing in a leadoff role for Wareham. Osmond steps off.
Well, the good play as of late has Gonzalez now tied for the team lead in batting average at 271. Knotted with Owen Diodati, out of the guys still out on the roster.
2 on, 2 out, 0-2 pitch, rolled over to the right side. Rounded off by Soretti. His toss to first is in time. Wareham gets 1 off of a walk, a hit, and 2 Chatham errors. 2-0 Wareham, bottom of the second in a moment.
Baseball Factory's vision is to guide both players and parents.
Imagine waking up to a seaside breeze, a fishing fleet leaving for work, and a crimson sun rising over seals relaxing on the sandbars. This is the experience of Chatham Bars Inn, Cape Cod's premier resort and spa. To learn more about Cape Cod's finest luxury hotel, resort, and spa, visit chathambarzinn.com.
Cape Cod Healthcare offers a comprehensive array of medical services delivered by top-notch teams of healthcare providers. Their physicians provide the best evidence-based and proven medicine at their state-of-the-art facilities. If you need them, they'll be there.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the Cape Cod Baseball League and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to providing tools and resources for your sustained well-being. We recognize the vital role of preventative medicine in your health journey and want to help you not only get well, but stay well.
From Vanderbilt,
2-0 Wareham. We head to the bottom of the second. Romero Jr., Hogan, and Rivera, the 4-5-6 hitters coming up for Chatham after Mac Anglin in his first Cape Cod League inning went 1-2-3 with a strikeout. His first pitch to Max Romero Jr. is a breaking ball high and outside.
Romero Jr. out of Vanderbilt. The catcher getting the start tonight.
Hitting .225 on the Cape League with a home run and 6 RBIs as that pitch is cut on and missed. Now a ball and a strike to Romero Jr.
Toolsy left-handed hitting catcher. Should step into a big role for Vanderbilt next season.
And strong defensively as well, as the 1-1 is a fastball low. 94 miles per hour for Anglin. We've seen some easy velocity from him the first few batters. The 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball high and outside. Shift on for Wareham. 3 defenders to the right side of the infield. The outfield playing relatively straight up, except the left fielder Diodati is scooted over a little bit to his right as that pitch is swung on and missed to make it a full count.
Nobody uses the shift like the Gatemen do.
Maybe Katuitt. See
Maybe
a lot of
a little
shifting
bit
from them. Payoff pitch. Lifted foul over the left side.
But in terms of the number of hitters they use it against and how productive it is against opposing hitters, the Gatemen are as good as it gets in the Cape League.
Another payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him with the breaking ball. And it's 2 strikeouts now for Anglin.
the right fielder from Vanderbilt, number 5, Matt Hogan.
Romero reaching for that one, had no chance on a dirty slider from Mac Anglin. It's been a fastball slider mix for him so far. Hasn't needed to bring out the curveball but once. When he did, it was a good one. So trying to work through the first time through this order with just those 2 pitches, and those are his go-to offerings.
First pitch to Matt Hogan is popped up to the left side. Cameron James coming up on the third base line makes the catch. 2 away, still nobody on in the bottom of the second. 2-0 Wareham. And Josh Rivera, the shortstop, coming to the plate. Rivera out of Florida. Last night, 2 for 4. He hit his first Cape League home run, a solo shot.
He had 5 of them this season at Florida. Hit .253 on the season.
First pitch to him is a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Chatham fell to Harwich 3-2 last night. They've lost 2 of their last 3 by a run. The 0-1 is a slider for a strike. Two outs, nobody on. 2-0 Wareham. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Rivera. A fastball that misses outside.
95 once again from Anglin, and we don't mean to beat you over the head with that number, but just to emphasize how rare it is to see that even here in the Cape Cod League.
1-2 pitch is grounded to the right side just past Anglin, but scooped up by Troy and fired to first for the third out. Wareham up 2-0 to the third we go on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Imagine waking up to a seaside breeze, a fishing fleet leaving for work, and a crimson sun rising over seals relaxing on the sandbars. This is the experience of Chatham Bars Inn, Cape Cod's premier resort and spa. To learn more about Cape Cod's finest luxury hotel, resort, and spa, visit chathambarsinn.com.
Cape Cod Healthcare offers a comprehensive array of medical services delivered by top-notch teams of healthcare providers. Their physicians provide the best evidence-based and proven medicine at their state-of-the-art facilities. If you need them, they'll be there.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the Cape Cod Baseball League and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Top of the third inning with the Gatemen leading 2-0 and coming to the plate. First man to the dish in this inning is Sean McLean.
McLean with the big fly to left center, his first time up, his first Cape League home run. Following in the footsteps of his brother Matt McLean, the All-Star Game MVP in 2019 in the Cape League.
McLean offers at a first pitch fastball, squared around to bunt, and it went to the backstop. So the count goes 0-1. Osmond out for his third inning of work, working out of the windup, and he throws a fastball right by Sean McLean.
You know, I asked McLean before the game if coming to the Gatemen was something that he had always wanted to do since his brother played for them a couple summers ago, and he said, I'll wait for this pitch.
The 0-2 is fouled off to the right side.
He said it was just something that kind of happened simultaneously. He was talking to Jerry Weinstein. They were talking about his brother when he was playing, and he said, you know, when it comes your time, I want you to play for the Gatemen in 2021, and that's what he did. Finished up a stint with Team USA.
The 0-2 misses low and outside, and he actually had the opportunity to move on with Team USA, play some more games for them this summer, and said, you know what? There's some guys at that level with that team who are better than I am. There's some guys who I will be playing behind, and I deserve at this point in my career to be playing behind. And I want to come play in the Cape Cod League because I need to get better, and this is an opportunity for me to do it. As he sends a line drive to left field, and that's a base hit. A two-strike home run earlier in the ballgame, and now a two-strike base hit has Sean McLean aboard to lead off the third for the Gatemen.
Well, Wareham's happy to have him.
Yes, we are.
Glad he came from Team USA. He's a huge addition, and his pedigree precedes him. The first game he showed up, he was placed directly in the leadoff spot. Just shows you the confidence that Wareham has in him. I've mentioned that a couple of times this summer, but a great ad for Wareham.
And how about the guy following him up? As good of a 1-2 punch as there is in this league with Diodati at the plate now. Saw a first pitch fastball, took it for a ball.
Yeah, Diodati started to figure things out after a little bit of a lull following his explosion early in the season. Back to his, I guess, hard-hitting ways.
A quick pick to first. Sean McLean back safely. Owen Diodati has moved into the 3-hole for the last few games. Stands in the left-hand batter's box. The right-handed Bryce Osmond works out of the stretch. Osmond kicks and fires. Taking off with the pitch was McLean. That one sent deep to left center field and out of here. Diodati going the other way for a home run for the first time this season. And a 2-run shot gives the Gatemen a 4-0 lead. He is now the league leader in home runs with 7. He stands alone.
Well, every home run for Owen Diodati this summer has been either to right field, and we've seen one to center field. But that one, an opposite field shot for Diodati. If you were wondering whether he has oppo power, that was your answer right there. We've been telling that to different fans and scouts that have asked us all the season, saying he can hit it the opposite way. You just haven't seen a ton of it yet, and he did on that at-bat.
So a meeting on the mound. The Anglers will talk it over. Tommy Troy coming to the plate in a moment. Nobody on, nobody out in this inning. The Gatemen have already put up 2 and are not looking to stop anytime soon. It's a 4-0 lead for Wareham.
Well, he mentioned in the pregame show that this was potentially a staff that the Gatemen could get the bats going against. 4.75 ERA, that was second worst in the league coming into this game. And the Gatemen have jumped all over Bryce Osmond in the first 3 innings.
Osmond threw 2, yet to record an out in the 3rd as Tommy Troy checks it up on a breaking ball, and he went around for strike 1. Nobody on, nobody out in the top of the 3rd. Breaking ball stays upstairs, evens the count at 1. The 1-1 to Troy fouled off into the parking lot.
Troy did a nice job his first time up, sending one the other way into right field. Just a looping line drive. It was a 2-out hit before he got picked off. We've seen him get tagged out a few times on the bases in some ill-advised base running, but more often than not, he does a good job on the base paths.
Fastball at 91, misses low. Gatemen up 4-0 in the top of the 3rd inning here in Chatham. Out of the windup, Osmond with the 2-2. Tommy Troy thought about it and held back. Sends the count to 3-2.
That was a tempting breaking ball, swept across the front of the plate.
The 3-2 is just outside for ball 4. Romero Jr., the catcher, looked like he wanted it, but Tommy Troy gets the call and takes first base.
That's such a good plate appearance from Tommy Troy. They just had a mound meeting. Bryce Osmond coming out with a renewed sense of energy to try and get a big out and get back on track. Troy falls behind and then works his way into a walk. That's huge because Osmond now on the mound is thinking, I just can't get anything to go right.
So Jimmy Crook's at the plate now. And if he can find a way aboard, I wouldn't be shocked if this is the last batter that Osmond faces. Crooks takes ball 1 high and tight.
Yeah, it's got to be a short leash at this point. I could see activity in Chatham's bullpen. Can't see a number.
As Crooks sends a looper to left field. Coming in on it is Logan Britt, and he slides to make the catch. Britt took a step back and then charges forward to snag it at his shoestrings to hold Tommy Troy at first base and record the first out of the inning.
That felt like it shouldn't have been so hard for Britt. It seemed like a routine fly ball, but he had a bad read on it, probably because he's seen a few go over his head so far, so his initial instinct was to take a step back, but that one in relatively dead left field, and Britt had to make a sliding catch that probably wouldn't have been necessary if he got a better read.
Now Morales stands in for the Gatemen, sends a high drive to right center field. Going back on it is Trenkle. He has a play and tracks it down in the right center gap for out number 2.
Yeah, good swing from Morales. Just didn't quite barrel it up. It was off the inside of the bat, and he got a little bit underneath the pitch. Went close to the warning track, but a pretty routine play for Trenkle in center. See what Kern can do here. Reached on an error his first time up.
Kern 2 for 4 yesterday. Troy gets a big lead off of first base as Kern offers and misses at a fastball. Strike 1.
I'm hoping that last night could really be a sign that he is back for Wareham. 2 for 4 with a double. He's had 2 multi-hit games in his last 4.
Fastball taken outside, evens the count at 1.
And you get 1 multi-hit game, and you're thinking that he's not quite back, but he gets that second one in 4 games, and I hope that can be sustained.
And they came in 2 very different at-bats for Cade Kern. One of his hits came with a full count. The other one, the first pitch of the at-bat. So Kern, his throw goes over to first base. Troy was picked off earlier, this time backed safely. And Kern jumping on a first pitch fastball for his first hit of the game, and then later in the ball game, a 3-2 fastball off the plate that he drove down the right field line for a double.
Yeah, it was a great game for him. And he's been a lot more patient at the plate. I love what I'm seeing.
Troy off with the pitch, up and throwing is Romero, and it's on the money. Got him. Tommy Troy cut down on the base paths for the second time today, but the Gatemen put a crooked number up on the board. They go up 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served Southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
That double play is brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency. Package your home and auto insurance for the perfect double play.
Mac Anglin back out for the Gatemen. He's been sharp through 2 as he'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Chatham Anglers.
Sharp and efficient, Nick. Only 16 pitches. Sat down the first 6 batters in a row he's seen with a couple of strikeouts. Welcome to the Gatemen, Mac Anglin. We're happy to have him. Another great product from Clemson.
Would love to see how deep into this game he can go. It is his first outing. George Carlejo and the rest of the Gatemen dugout not known to stretch pitchers too deep, especially guys who haven't thrown in a while, like Anglin coming on just a couple days ago.
And Anglin was a starter for Clemson this past year. Could do either. He had 8 starts and 5 relief appearances. But he can go deep into games, Nick. As you said, though, hasn't pitched in a while.
The leash is shorter for guys making their first starts. They like to stretch him out as the season goes on, but for Anglin, who missed with ball 1 to David Mendham, not sure where we'll see him come out of the game tonight, assuming he can continue this success. Fastball misses outside, and that's a dangerous assumption considering the Gatemen did get out to a 3-0 lead last night, ended up losing that one 8-4 in a game where it felt like they were in control in the early going. Not to put a damper on the sense of energy we feel here in Chatham, is right as I say that, a 3-0 count to David Mendham.
Well, the rally started after the Gatemen starter left the game.
And Anglin misses upstairs with a fastball. So that is a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff man in this third inning.
It was Blake Soderston on the mound for Wareham yesterday. He went 3 scoreless, and then the wheels came off for the pitching staff after he left the game. But to Wareham's credit, the pitching's been the strength of the team all season. They can't carry the team every game.
Second lowest ERA in the Cape League as Anglin gets a fastball over the inside corner. Johnny Castagnazzi, the batter. Castagnazzi, one of the new additions to this Chatham team since the first time these two met, as there's a slider over the inside corner for a strike.
I like Anglin. Right back to the strike zone after a 4-pitch walk.
Four consecutive balls to lead off the inning. Mendham is aboard. Nobody out now in an 0-2 count on Johnny Castagnazzi. Crooks sets up upstairs, and a fastball rings him up. Hit the top of the zone and sat him down. Castagnazzi didn't like it, but it was right there from Anglin at 93 miles per hour, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, it was looking like Jason Klump, the home plate umpire, was going to call it strike three. Then he hesitated for a moment and finally did the big strikeout motion. We can't hear a strikeout call in Veterans Field because we're all the way behind the bleachers to the left of home plate.
Logan Britt spins out of the way of a breaking ball, but it found the zone for strike one. Anglin's starting to feel it now after the walk to lead off the inning. 1 out and a man aboard at first base. Infield at double play depth for the Gatemen. Breaking ball splits the plate, and once again Anglin ahead 0-2.
The fastball has been a strikeout pitch, but the slider just as good so far.
Fastball top of the zone. What does he try here? We'll see, as here's the 0-2. It was a breaking ball away.
Yeah, I think you see breaking ball there. 1-2 count, I probably go with my fastball inside. Was setting him up with an away pitch.
See what he does. Anglin comes with the slider again. Fouled off that time by Logan Britt.
It's nice when you have your fastball and your slider working because you can really go to either.
Logan Britt played his freshman season at Texas A&M, was in the transfer portal, and then took his name out of the transfer portal earlier this summer. So he'll return to A&M for his sophomore year.
Yeah, made that decision on July 1st that he was going to return to the Aggies.
In the 9-hole tonight for the Anglers as he calls time and steps out, waiting for a 1-2 pitch from Mac Anglin with 1 out in the bottom of the third.
He did move around in high school a little bit, played for 2 different high schools.
Anglin set, here's the pitch. Swing and check that, he fouled it off. Crooks had it in his glove for a minute and then dropped it.
That one just popped out of his glove, and from our view saw it at the last second dribbling in front of the plate.
It's like, darn it. So we'll do it again with a 1-2 count. Anglin kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball low and outside. So a 2-2 count now with 1 out and a runner at first base. The pitch to Britt. Our fastball misses outside. So Anglin was ahead 0-2 to start this at bat and now has worked it full. Gap down the right field line as Kern is playing into the right center gap over there in right field. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. A slider fastball combination for Anglin turns into a 7-pitch at bat and his second walk of the inning.
That was tough. A good job by Britt staying with it, and thought he had him on a 1-2 pitch that Britt just fouled off, and it went out of Crooks' mitt. Now George Carlejo, the pitching coach for Wareham, heading to the mound to talk to Anglin. Don't see any activity in Wareham's bullpen, and I didn't expect to. But probably just a chance to calm him down, ask him what he's seeing, what happened on those walks where he missed the zone on a few pitches, and what his approach is now that he's going to be at the top of this order for the second time.
Danny Soretti, the second baseman, will stand in the left-hand batter's box. He struck out against Anglin in his first trip. That was to lead off the ball game for the Anglers. Soretti started 60 of 61 games as a freshman at UNC. He's now going into his junior year, coming off a season which he hit .249, 9 home runs.
It's been 3 years where he's been the starting shortstop for the Tar Heels. Great glove, good footwork, an average arm, and he knows how to hit the ball hard at the plate as a switch hitter. He was actually a .299 hitter in 2019. Has shown more power to his game, but his average has dipped with that to about .250.
After the mound conference, the first pitch from Anglin misses up and away.
In this day and age, Nick, I think scouts would rather see a guy that has .250 with more power, as Soretti takes that fastball for a strike to make it 1-1, than a guy who's hitting 300 in college with less power.
It's tough to say, especially it depends on the position they play.
Sure.
And their other attributes for sure, but waiting for a 1-1 pitch is Soretti. Took a fastball low and in.
Yeah, and as a shortstop, those defensive skills are key.
When you mentioned the average arm, probably profiles more like a second baseman at the next level.
He's playing second base today.
That one's popped to the left side. Cameron James will range over, but he has no play.
And he's done that this summer. A good chance for scouts to see him on that right side of the infield, how he looks over there.
Soretti out of Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. He's a musician as well. Plays guitar and trumpet. Talented young man. The lefty waits for the 2-2. Grounds it to the right side. Stabbed by Anglin. He can't pick it up. Troy with a barehanded attempt. And it stays in the infield for an infield single. 2 Gatemen defenders, 1 Anglin, and then 2 Tommy Troy had a chance at it. Neither one able to make the play, and it'll go down as an infield single to load the bases for Chatham.
That was almost a painful reminder of the grounder Kevin Acey had against Falmouth. Just a dribbler to the right side. Anglin does his job and gets a weak grounder, but it's just past his glove. Troy tried to barehand it, knew he didn't have much time, and just missed the barehand sliding into the infield grass. Tough break for Anglin. That'll load the bases with 1 out.
So Anglin now in a bit of trouble. 1 out, bases juiced, and a fastball misses inside. The velocity has started to dip for Anglin. Saw him consistently around 95 in the early part of this game, but 93, now 92 in this inning as he starts to tire just a little bit. That one's popped up behind the plate. Jimmy Crooks ranging toward the third base dugout, and he has a play, makes the catch. That is a break for the Gatemen as that foul ball stayed in the ballpark. Crooks discarded the mask and got over there to make the catch.
Big time play from Crooks. He didn't have a lot of time to get to that. It came down pretty quickly, makes the catch right in front of the entire Chatham dugout. Wow, another excellent defensive gem from Jimmy Crooks in a huge second out with the bases loaded, Nick.
Anglin 1 out away from getting out of a jam and a dangerous hitter at the plate, Lyle Miller-Green, as that one skips by Jimmy Crooks. All the way to the backstop it goes, and that puts the first run on the board for the Anglers.
Crooks defensively, Nick, has been strong behind the plate this summer, but recently we've seen some balls get by him that we wouldn't normally expect to, and I think that was an example of one right after he made the huge play, too.
That ball was not too far out of the zone.
No.
Definitely a play Crooks needs to make, and he'll make 99 times out of 100. As Miller-Green sends a ball sky high down the first baseline, twisting foul, but Morales tracks it down on the first base warning track, and that's out number 3. Anglin does his job, gets out of the jam. Unfortunately, the passed ball from Jimmy Crooks puts a run on the board for Chatham. It's 4-1 as we go to the 4th on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Back for the fourth. Gatemen Baseball Network. Nick Magas alongside Jack Sadigan. Gatemen coming to the plate. They'll send Cade Kern, Cameron James, and Jim Jarvis, along with whoever to follow, assuming they can get runners on board. As Osmond is back on the mound, he's allowed 4 runs in this game. Gatemen lead it 4-1. Cade Kern takes a pitch and takes a strike.
Came up in the last inning before Troy was thrown out at second.
Troy now has recorded 2 outs on the base paths, both of them to end the inning.
Well,
so Cade Kern with a new life here as he fouls off a pitch, falls 0-2.
Yeah, I've talked about how Troy's been pretty good on the bases before tonight. 8 for 11 in stolen base attempts coming into today, but he's been picked off once and thrown out at second once.
Good hard slider from Osmond, just missed off the plate. Kern with a 1-2 count. Righty on righty matchup here. That one fouled off in the batter's box, trickled into foul territory, grabbed by the bat boy, and we try a 1-2 pitch again.
Kern's 2-strike approach is interesting. I feel like he doesn't shorten up his swing very much.
It has its pros and cons as the 1-2 fouled off to the right side.
He's being more defensive in that if he sees a pitch that he thinks might be a strike, he swings at it. But not choking up on the bat, really. Still keeping that long cut that he loves to pull the ball with.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball went right by Cade Kern. And that's the first out of the fourth for Bryce Osmond and the Anglers.
The third baseman, number 13, Cameron James.
So this is Cameron James, another right-handed hitter for the Gatemen. Outfield will play him straight away. Infield the same as the first pitch, a slider from Osmond taken up and in. Four to 1 lead for the Gatemen. Nobody aboard, 1 out in the inning. The 1-0 to James, sent sky high. That'll stay in the infield. Calling everybody off is Josh Rivera, and he makes the catch right behind the pitcher's mound for out number 2.
Nice job by Rivera tracking that one down in the lights. High fly balls to the infield at night games can be especially difficult because when you look up in the air, those lights almost blind you like the sun would, right in your face.
So here's Jarvis in the 9-hole tonight. Takes a first pitch slider on the outside corner for a strike. Gatemen have scored in every inning to this point. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. But Osmond working cleanly so far through this 4th inning.
And I was kind of surprised they kept him out there, but it would be a huge inning for Chatham if he could get through the 4th cleanly.
1-1 to Jarvis, fouled straight back over the screen. Parking lot here is not too far out of play here in Chatham, so beware. If you're parking your car anywhere near here, pulling up to watch a game, if you see a baseball-sized dent in your hood, you know why.
And our producer Harrison's seen one of those. It was at YD, though.
That pitch fouled off by Jarvis, battling with 2 strikes. That's become his MO this entire season. I really like him in the 9-hole. He was leading off to start this year, but
you don't see a lot of 9-hole guys who are on 4-game hit streaks, 2 RBIs in his last 4 games.
The comfortable spot for him, though, I think, in this Gateman lineup as Osmond steps off.
I always have the debate because I like him at the top of the lineup too, but he'll come to the 9 spot, hit well, and I want him back at the top, but then he'll go to the 1 or 2 spot, struggle again.
That one's driven out toward left field. Going back on it is Logan Britt. He has a play and makes the catch for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Osmond. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th in a 4-1 ball game from Chatham.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. In-person and high-flex classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about the programs in business, accounting, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone. A home run.
That home run's brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil. Another scholarship for a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreational management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science, online at www.
We get 7 games. So when we get 7 games out, basically.
Leading off for the Anglers from Vanderbilt, the catcher, number 45, Maxwell Romero Jr.
Back for the bottom of the 4th. Nick Magas and Jack Sadigan on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Max Romero Jr., the cleanup hitter, will lead it off in the inning. Struck out his first time up. And Mac Anglin back out there for the Gatemen. As it was the first time Romero came to the plate, the Gatemen infield playing him to the pull side. Left-handed hitter. Overloaded on the right side of the infield. Jarvis, Troy, and Morales as the first pitch is fouled off.
Big news out of Stony Brook Elementary School. Brewster defeating Katuitt 2-1, called after 7.5 innings.
Ground ball that'll be fielded by Troy, a pretty routine play, and gets it over to first to beat Romero by 6 or 7 steps.
It was a ground ball to second. Expect him to be close.
He was out by more than you see an average play at first base. I think he was less than halfway down the line.
Come on. He wasn't running that hard.
No, I think he was running hard. He's just not that fast.
Cut him a break.
He's a catcher.
It's a 4-3 ground out.
You're not supposed to be fast.
I'm not saying you are, but you don't have to call him out like that.
Just adding color. First pitch missed outside to Matt Hogan. Vanderbilt teammates back-to-back in the Chatham lineup. Fouls that one straight back to the screen. Sends the Chatham faithful diving out of the way behind the plate.
Another score update at McKeon Park. Hyannis looking for their second win in a row. They're up 5-0 on Orleans in the bottom of the 6th. Falmouth ahead of Bourne 1-0 in the 2nd.
Breaking ball in the dirt.
Falmouth game got started late because of a rain delay at Doran Park.
Hogan sends a fly ball behind the plate. That lands foul.
Be careful. There's a kid's playpen that landed just next to.
I think that's a gaga ball pit. Isn't that what you call it?
I don't know.
The 2-2 to Hogan, swung on and missed. Third strikeout of the game for Anglin. And he has 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Allowed an unearned run last inning, but other than that, it's been clean for Anglin.
Yeah, slightly shaky third. And I say slightly because he did issue 2 walks, but then it was a very weak base hit in the pass ball where the run came in. But back on track in the 4th.
Josh Rivera cuts through a slider. Still haven't seen the curveball much from Anglin. Fastball, slider in the early going. And the fastball velocity was up there at the start of this game, and it's so tough to keep it there, especially for a guy who hasn't pitched in a little while. Missed outside of the fastball there at 91, so I'm up to 95 earlier.
It'll get better as the Cape League season goes.
Their fastball spinning out of the way as it was high and tight to Josh Rivera. It's ball 2. 2-1 is the count. 2 outs, nobody aboard in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And another shift for Wareham. James and Jarvis on the left side, well over to left. Troy close to the center field side of second.
Breaking ball grab to the inside corner.
And then Gonzalez shaded slightly over to his left. Gonzalez playing center field today, of course.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Rivera. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes full.
Well, you don't want to spark a 2-out rally here. You give him your best 3-2 pitch, and his fastball has been tailing recently. I would go slider.
Fastball grounded to third base. Cameron James up on a couple of hops and a strong throw to first for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Mac Anglin. Will go to the 5th. It's a 4-1 lead for the Gatemen.
What's up, Gatemen fans? Looking for Wareham jerseys, shirts, and hats? You can find all of that and more online at gatemen.org/shop. Visit to get all your Gatemen gear today.
Mosquito bites and ticks. No, yikes! When the bugs get scary, just call Mosquito Mary's 866-ASK-MARY or visit us at mosquitomarys.com.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedoms. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
We head to the 5th on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jack Sadiga and Nick Magas, 4-1 Wareham lead. A run in the first, another in the second, and 2 more in the third. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Anglers. It is Dawson Gauze out of Louisiana State. Right-hander. He'll have the top of the order for Wareham: Gonzalez, McLean, and Diodati. His first pitch to the lefty Gonzalez is a curveball for a strike.
The first appearance for Goss here in the Cape League. Anglin making the first start of his season for the Gatemen. And now the first time pitching for a man from Chatham.
That pitch, a fastball swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2 to Gonzalez. Gonzalez with 2 straight 4-3 groundouts tonight.
Goss out of Lake Wiley, South Carolina.
Here's the 0-2, a fastball outside. One-two pitch, fouled straight back. Bryce Osmond finished with 4 innings and 4 runs. 3 of those earned off of 5 hits and a walk. He also recorded a strikeout. The 1-2 from Gauze. A fastball outside.
Gatemen out hitting Chatham 5-1 in this game. They hold on to a 4-1 lead. Actually looks familiar.
2-2. Breaking ball off the plate. A full count for Tres Gonzalez, but the familiarity was from a game that was a little frustrating for Wareham. Out hit Chatham 8-1 the first time these two teams met in 2021 and ended with a 4-4 tie. The one, though, was a grand slam.
Lyle Miller Green, the grand slam.
Payoff pitch. Taken for ball 4. Missed with the breaking ball high and outside, and Gonzalez draws a leadoff walk in the 5th after falling behind 0-2. (4-1) Wareham in the top of the 5th. Gonzalez on first after a leadoff walk, and Sean McLean to the plate. He's had himself a day. A solo home run in the 1st and a single in the 3rd. Ended up scoring after the single. Just his 4th game for Wareham, and the first pitch to him hit him. Got him on the left elbow.
Well, that was at 90 miles per hour, the fastball from Gauze. And McLean doesn't flinch. And not wearing a guard on that lead elbow like so many of these hitters do. It's not a comfortable feeling, and something that has really caught on throughout baseball now at all levels, wearing that protective cover. A lot of them made by Evo Shield and similar brands, just to make sure that any fastballs or breaking balls, for that matter, that catch you in the elbow don't cause any structural damage. Sean McLean appears to be just fine, though, and takes first base.
Runners on first and second, nobody out. In the top of the 5th, it's 4-1 Wareham, and Owen Diodati at the plate. Castagnazzi playing in the grass from 3rd. Miller Green also playing up from 1st as well. First pitch to Diodati is a fastball that's cut on and missed.
Well, Castagnazzi was looking for a bunt on the grass over there at third base, and I understand his thought process with nobody out and 2 runners on, but this is a guy who the Gatemen can't afford to take the bat out of his hands.
This is the league home run leader after his home run in the 3rd inning, a 2-run shot opposite field to left. His first opposite field home run and his 7th on the Cape League season. And now we can officially call him, for the first time since about a week and a half into the season, the home run leader in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Pretty nice title to have. The 0-1, another fastball, foul tipped into the mid of Romero Jr., and it's 0-2 to Diodati.
That was the pitch to hit for Owen Diodati. It was a fastball on the outer half. Of course, a fastball hitter. And coming from the right-hander, Gauze, at 90 miles an hour. Diodati not happy with himself that he missed that one.
0-2, swung on and missed. Gauze's first strikeout sends the Cape League home run leader to the dugout, and Tommy Troy to the plate with runners on first and second and 1 out in the top of the 5th. It's 4-1 Wareham.
Well, Troy has had a nice day at the plate, a single and a walk. On the base paths, it's been another story. Picked off in the 1st inning, caught stealing in the 3rd. And at least if he reaches base now, he'll likely have runners in front of him.
First pitch to Troy is a slider that misses outside. Troy's last time against Chatham was 1 for 5 with an RBI triple. He has a league-leading 3 triples on the season. Gauze a look at Gonzalez at second, and his 1-0 pitch is ripped to the left side through to left field. Gonzalez around third, the throw to the plate is not in time. Gonzalez scores, throw down to second. McLean's safe there, and it's 5-1 Wareham.
The catcher, number 8, Jimmy Crooks.
Tommy Troy with not the hardest hit ball in the world, but it got through for a base hit, drove in another run for the Gatemen, and they go up 5-1.
Gatemen have now scored in 4 of 5 innings as Jimmy Crooks comes to the plate. McLean, the base runner, at second. Troy at first after his RBI single. Still only 1 away in the top of the 5th. First pitch to Crooks. Swung on and missed. High fastball. Crooks so far on his birthday, a walk in the 2nd and a fly out to left in the 3rd.
Got to get him a hit on his birthday.
You'd think. The 0-1 is a fastball for a strike. For some reason, Chatham's not just giving him a hit, though.
Crooks wouldn't want that. He's going to earn it, and he's going to do it with 2 strikes. Watch this.
There's a big hole up the middle. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Throw down to first. Nearly got Troy. Well, Nick,
First baseman, number 5, Yohandy.
that one's on you.
What did I do?
Said it was going to be a 2-strike hit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I was more focused on Tommy Troy almost getting caught for the 3rd time. He was packing plenty of time, though.
Two outs.
Of course, when Romero popped up, my heart stopped.
2 outs, runners on first and second. It's a 5-1 Wareham lead. Yohandy Morales at the plate. Righty-righty matchup against Gauze. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. Morales 1 for 2 with a base hit in the second. He was tagged out following a base running miscue after the base hit. Five runs for Wareham off of 6 hits and 2 Chatham errors. Chatham with a run off of 1 hit and no Gatemen errors. The 1-0 to Morales. Swung on and missed. Got him with the slider.
Well, the control for Gauze has been a little bit questionable in the early going, but the stuff is there. He's had a couple very good hitters for Gatemen guessing on some good sliders and a fastball that he struck out Diodati.
That pitch swung on and missed again. Another nice breaking ball.
He has Yohandy Morales way out over his front foot on a slider that is sweeping across the plate from the right side.
A ball and 2 strikes to Morales. Runners on first and second with 2 away in the top of the 5th. The delivery from Gauze. Low and outside. Two quick base runners with McLean on second and Troy on first.
Gauze wants the outside part of the plate. That's where he's been coming at Yohandy all evening. Let's see if Yohandy can shoot one the other way with a big hole on the right side.
Gauze a look at second. The 2-2 just low on a fastball. Moans and groans from the Chatham crowd.
Looked like it was low, but a tough take. And credit to Morales being able to lay off that close fastball.
Payoff pitch is tapped fouled on the third base line. He had Morales with his outside breaking ball, but just caught a piece of it to stay alive with a full count.
Well, that's exactly what he wanted Morales to try and do, is roll over that outside fastball, or outside breaking ball, excuse me. Just pulled it a little too far foul. He'll have a chance to do it again at 3-2.
2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners should be off on the pitch. Here's the payoff, missed outside. Came with the fastball, and the bases are loaded. McLean to third, Troy to second, Morales to first on the walk, and Cade Kern coming to the plate. Wareham up 5-1 with 2 outs in the top of the 5th.
Well, the biggest thing I've noticed from the Gatemen offense so far, aside from the 2 home runs, of course, is the fact that they're not going down easy with 2 outs. A lot of times they'll let rallies fizzle when they have 2 outs in the inning, or they won't be getting guys on base with 2 outs in the inning. And in this situation, extending an already run-scoring inning for the Gatemen. That time it was Morales drawing the walk and bringing a hot hitter in Cade Kern to the plate.
First pitch to Kern is a slider that misses high. Kern reached on an error in the second and then struck out in the 4th. Does have 2 multi-hit games in his last 4, including a double last night against Brewster. 1-0 pitch. Checked up, but taken outside for ball 2. Another slider from Gauze. Kern in the catbird seat, 2-0. Bases loaded up with 2 away in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch, fouled back. Kern, couple spins of the bat, settles it above his right shoulder. Gauze staring down third. A look to the plate, back to third. Here's the 2-1 delivery. It's a fastball for a strike, just caught the outer edge.
Gauze trying to go to that outside corner to Kern as well. He did it to Morales, missed outside with the 3-2 pitch to put Morales on base, but another chance for a Gateman hitter to try and go the other way.
2-2, called strike 3. Wareham gets 1 in the 5th, but they leave the bases loaded. Still up 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th on the Gateman Baseball Network. (5-1) Wareham as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Jack Sadegan, Nick Magas. And with the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up, Wareham will go to a new pitcher, England. An excellent 4 innings, gave up 1 unearned run off of a hit and 2 walks with 4 strikeouts. And in to replace him is Cole Kirschipper, the left-hander out of Illinois.
17 appearances this season for Kirschipper. 4 of those were starts. The ERA higher than he would like. He did strike out 48 on the 2021 season.
And you have experience with this in the Big Ten. Illinois, the ball flies there, and it's a pretty small ballpark, is it not?
It's a small park, and the wind feels like it is always blowing out. So the ERA for Kirschipper doesn't tell you a whole lot, or at least it doesn't tell you nearly as much as it would for guys pitching in other parks. It is not a pitcher-friendly place to throw the baseball.
His first pitch to a pinch hitter, Jake DeLeo, is in for a strike. First pinch hit for either side, as that pitch is a fastball cut on and missed at 91 miles per hour. Getting a righty-righty matchup with DeLeo, or excuse me, a righty-lefty matchup. 0-2 pitch, fouled out of play.
Interesting move of the pinch hitter here. It's early in the ball game, and David Mendham, who started in this spot as the designated hitter, walked once and scored a run, so didn't even record an at-bat before he came out of the ball game.
0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Nice breaking ball. And so DeLeo goes down. Kirschipper's seen one batter, and he struck him out. Excellent start in his Cape League debut. And a Wareham staff that is in need of lefties. Don't have a lot of them. Garrett Smeltz is really the only one that comes to mind.
And Skilly.
And Skillport, yes.
But, yes, it's been lefty thin all season for the Gatemen.
First pitch to Castagnazzi was a fastball on the inner half for a strike. And now the 0-1 swung on and missed, another fastball.
And going back to what we talked about with the ballpark at the University of Illinois, playing small. Being small and playing smaller than it is. This is part of what makes the Cape League so special, is you can see a lot of good players in one place and in a controlled setting.
0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. 3 straight fastballs to Johnny Castagnazzi, and he goes down swinging. 2 strikeouts in a row for Kirschipper.
If you're a scout and you're looking at guys' numbers across the league, and when they're playing in different conferences with different size strike zones and different size ballparks against different competition, it can be hard to weed through those numbers and figure out who's good and who's not. And this is a situation where you can put a guy like Kirschipper on the mound who isn't necessarily coming off the best year and put him up against good competition and see where he really stacks up compared to his peers.
His first pitch to the 9-hitter Logan Britt is a breaking ball low. So 1-0 to Britt. And that pitch fouled back. So now a ball and a strike to the left fielder Logan Britt out of Texas A&M. He walked in the third. But that's why the scouts come out. I mean, if everyone was just going to look at stats to determine if a guy was good, it'd be a very easy job, as the 1-1 pitch is high and outside.
Yeah, it does a couple things. It puts and first and foremost, I mean, it puts the best up against the best pitchers in the country against the best hitters, and that's what everybody wants to see.
That pitch cut on and missed. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Britt. 5-1 Wareham in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Kirschipper in his Cape League debut strikes out the side in the 5th. 5-1 Wareham, 6th inning coming up.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including 5th-year master's programs at www.curry.edu. The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship. Franklin is proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. This summer, all 10 teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From the Cape to the majors, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin.
Feel the power of a GMC. Test drive one today at Robertson's GMC, down on Cranberry Highway.
Five-1 game as we head to the 6th. Cameron James, Jim Jarvis, and Tres Gonzalez due up against Dawson Gauze. The first pitch to Cameron James is fouled back.
Come on, Cameron. First one's the toughest. That's what they always say.
He just needs a base knock. And then he's good.
And he likes going after the first pitch. It's a breaking ball there that he fouled back.
Sometimes that can happen when you're frustrated. You want to swing
We've
at
seen
pitches
it all
and
year.
just get that hit.
He wants to do it. He wants to do it quickly.
0-1, a nice curveball that swung on and missed. James 0 for 2 tonight. 0 for 18 on the season, but it just takes one to get going. The 0-2 pitch. A fastball just outside. That one might have been a gift.
It's tough to call. We're up here on the third base side.
We don't have a great angle.
Way up above the field, above the bleachers. That's the only away park.
That pitch hits James.
As I was saying, the only away park where the broadcasters are actually behind the bleachers, right, instead of right at field level, which, as Jack and I were discussing before the game, has its pros and cons.
Yeah, you get an elevated view, better reads on batted balls, but harder to tell balls and strikes, and also when your voice gets a little elevated, a lot of staring from the fans in front of you.
You're projecting your voice right at the back of everybody's head. I think we can all just agree that a press box is the best place to call a game.
Sure.
We've also had situations where we're at field level. You can't
or in
see
the bleachers.
You can't see half the field like in Orleans.
First pitch to Jim Jarvis is a fastball well inside. Jarvis had to get out of the way. So James on first after he was hit by a pitch to start off the sixth. It's 5-1 Wareham. They've scored runs in 4 out of 5 innings. 2 home runs on the night, one from McLean in the first inning and a 2-run shot for Diodati in the third. The 1-0 to Jarvis lifted to right field. That's shallow. Hogan running up on it makes the catch. James was off the bag but returns to first safely without a throw.
James scampering back quickly. He was halfway down the line, and that one was falling fast and not too far behind the first base bag. But James with an aggressive attempt off the bag, and I can see why. I thought for a minute that ball was going to get down off the bat of Jim Jarvis, and if he doesn't go far enough, if that ball does get down and Hogan's able to pick it up, he could get thrown out at second.
Tough to make a decision on that. 1 out runner on first for Tres Gonzalez. 5-1 Wareham. The first pitch to Gonzalez is a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Gonzalez 0 for 2 with a couple ground outs. He did draw a walk and score in the fifth. I like him in the leadoff spot, Nick. 0-1, fouled off over the left side.
I like anybody who's hot in that leadoff spot,
Sure.
but right now it is Tres Gonzalez. You got that right.
Well, I mean, you could easily debate whether it could be him, Brannigan, McLean there, but I like Tress in that leadoff role.
Brannigan not in the lineup tonight for the second night in a row.
0-2 pitch, fouled up and out of play. Well, he pitched yesterday.
He pitched yesterday, yes. A good reason why he wasn't in the lineup yesterday as one of the hotter bats for the game, and he did pitch. It was not a good outing for him. He struggled a little bit on the mound for the first time this season, but can't wait to see him there again and a chance to battle back. At the same time, would like his offensive production and a bit confused as to why he's not out there tonight. But plenty of talented guys on this roster that need chances, especially in the department of third base where Brannigan usually plays. The arrival of Sean McLean has been big.
Another 0-2 pitch missed to Gonzalez. It was a breaking ball high and outside. Runner on first with one away. Top of the sixth here at Veterans Field. Full house for the team that draws the most fans in the CCBL. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Poked foul right at Chatham's dugout.
You can see why they draw the most fans. This is a beautiful ballpark. Starting their games later than most. It's 7 o'clock, and by now it's dark, and it's a Monday night. The ballpark is full. The lawn out beyond the outfield fence is packed with lawn chairs and picnic blankets.
And it's just a beautiful area.
It
so
is
nice.
probably the prettiest town, at least from what I've seen on the Cape so far.
A ball and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. The pitch, fouled away again. Came to the town a little bit earlier today to explore, and just such a nice main street. Able to walk around, went to Squire for some lunch.
Chatham Squire, a legendary bar and restaurant. Had fun looking at the license plates all over the walls from different states, different messages, some of them cleaner than others.
Want to read some of them?
Nope.
You'd have to go. Got to go yourself if you want to
Gotta
read
go
them.
check it out.
Should be charging for advertisements like that. 1-2 to Gonzalez. Fouled away again.
We do charge for ads like that, Jack. Have you heard the number of sponsor reads we have to do? I guess not us, but between innings, I'm sure our loyal listeners are plenty well-versed in the local businesses around the Wareham area.
Squire is not one of our sponsors, though.
Not to mention the fans who come to the game.
Gonzalez has fouled off 5 of the last 6 pitches. Runner on first with 1 out in the top of the 6th. It's 5-1 Wareham. Here's another 1-2 pitch, and this one's high and outside. A breaking ball that didn't quite get into the zone.
We're cracking jokes up here. Meanwhile, Tres Gonzalez is putting together a very good at-bat. Fouling off close pitches. He's patient. He's disciplined. He's worked it to 2-2.
And we've seen that from him all season. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. Have I said that this at-bat yet?
I think now 4 times. 5 times maybe. Gonzalez is battling. His first time facing Gauze.
Gauze in his second inning of work. Gave up a run in the 5th off of an RBI single from Tommy Troy. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tres Gonzalez, the center fielder. Cameron James, the base runner, at first. 1 out in the top of the 6th. Throw over to first to check on James. Wareham has lost 6 games in a row, in big need of a win. They've done a good job so far against Chatham. 2-2, grounded up the middle, that'll get through. James puts on the brakes at second. And Gonzalez works a 10-pitch at-bat to get a base hit.
That is a beautiful at-bat from Tres Gonzalez. Finally getting a pitch he can handle. Sends it back up the middle on the ground. And just a seeing eye single. Didn't have too much on it, but it was well placed, and he earned every bit of that after a very, very impressive 10-pitch at-bat.
Way to work, Tres Gonzalez. Runners on first and second, 1 away for Sean McLean. Trying to add to a 4-run Wareham lead. The first pitch to McLean. Low and away on a slider.
And a bat like that just sucks the life out of a pitcher. When you get ahead of a batter and then you go 10 pitches, and it's bad enough to go 10 pitches to have to get him out. 10 pitches, then he reaches base.
The 1-0 to McLean is a fastball for a strike. McLean homered in the first to left center. Then led off the third with a base hit, scored, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. He's had himself a day in the 2-hole. Here's the 1-1. Lifted foul over the right side. McLean was late on a breaking ball.
McLean's brother Matt, as we mentioned earlier, also a Gateman, drafted in the first round this year out of UCLA. Brother Sean playing at rival Arizona State.
Following in his Wareham footsteps, but not collegiately.
Yeah, the Pac-12 rivalry within the household.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed. McLean chased an outside breaking ball. There's now 2 away in the 6th. Still runners on first and second, and Owen Diodati coming to the plate. Yeah. 5-1 Wareham. Diodati is 1 for 3 tonight with a 2-run opposite field shot to left in the 3rd. First pitch from Gauze is skied into shallow right field. Soretti, the second baseman, backing up. and settling, gloving for the third out. 5-1 Wareham. We head to the last of the sixth on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you.
Cole Kirschipper back on the mound for the bottom of the sixth. Jackson Egan, Nick Magas. Wareham leads 5-1, and Kirschipper in his first inning of work on the Cape was decent, striking out the side.
Yeah, he was better than decent. Now I get the sarcasm. There you go.
Something. First pitch to the leadoff man, Danny Soretti's to the backstop.
Well, he did it to the bottom of the order. Let's see what he can do with the top of this Angler lineup.
Soretti 1 for 2 with a base hit in the third. He struck out looking in the first. And hitting righty against the lefty Kirschipper. Soretti, of course, a switch hitter, as the 1-0 pitch is cut on and missed. An 89-mile-per-hour fastball. The 1-1 swung on and missed again. Another fastball at 90. And Soretti lost his slide protector from his back pocket.
Yeah, that's an odd way to put it, but yeah, it's exactly what it is, Jack. Just a lot of – here, I'll wait for this pitch.
1-2, swung on and missed.
Well, Kirschipper's not giving us a chance to talk about much. Just mowing through this Angler order. Now 4 batters, he's faced 4 strikeouts.
But that slide protector is basically just a pad you put on your hand to help when you're sliding into a base.
Yeah, so guys will keep it in their back pocket when they're at the plate and then take it off and slip it on one of their hands when they reach base, just to prevent jammed fingers and jammed wrists.
The lefty Caden Trenkle to the plate. The first pitch to him misses inside. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the sixth. 5-1 Wareham, looking to snap a 6-game losing streak at Veterans Field. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball for a strike on the inner half. Trenkle 0 for 2, a couple pop-outs. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. The 1-2 pitch, a fastball called strike 3. Kirschipper has now sat down 5 Anglers in a row via the strikeout. Wow.
This is unfair. It's just a fastball slider mix from the left side, and it doesn't look fancy, but it is extremely effective. Oh, my goodness. This is the first time we've seen Kirschipper this year, and I'm already looking forward to the next one.
Lyle Miller Green to the plate, takes ball 1. It was a breaking ball low. Miller Green 0 for 2.
Scouts about 10 rows up behind the plate. We're just kind of hanging out. They were having a good old time tonight. And then the pencils start going to the papers in the last few batters here as Kirschipper just continues to cruise.
That pitch was a curveball low to Miller Green. 2 balls and no strikes to the slugger at first base for Chatham, heading to Oklahoma State in the fall. 2-0 pitch. A changeup outside.
He'll join his Angler teammate and the previous hitter, Caden Trenkle, at Oklahoma State next year.
3 balls and no strikes to Miller Green. The pitch is a fastball right down the middle. Take all the way from Miller Green. Green coming into this game tied for first in the league with 6 home runs and fourth in the league with 17 RBIs. 3-1 pitch, called a strike as Miller Green threw his bat towards the dugout. A nice slider is what it looked like.
Well, that's just a tough look if you're Lyle Miller Green. You want to try and sell the call, but at the same time, there's a fine line between that and showing up the umpire. And the flipping the bat toward the dugout, it's not going to make you any friends for this 3-2 pitch.
2 outs, nobody on. 5-1 Wareham in the bottom of the 6th. Lights on at Veterans Field. Payoff pitch to the backstop. Miller Green with a 2-out walk. First base runner Kersipper is allowed. He struck out 5 in a row to start before giving up that walk to Miller Green.
Well, it was fun while it lasted. Kersipper still feeling good out there, I would imagine. And he'll get to face the cleanup hitter, Maxwell Romero Jr.
Romero Jr. is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Only 1 hit for Chatham tonight. That was a base hit from Soretti in the 3rd. They've drawn now 3 walks. Romero Jr. out of Vanderbilt, likely the starting catcher for the Commodores this upcoming season, as the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that misses outside. Lefty-lefty matchup here.
For Romero, it was limited playing time this season, but just played in 21 games. He took advantage of it, though. Hit 300, 4 home runs, 14 RBI this year.
The 1-0 pitch is a fastball for a strike on the outer half. That one at 91. But how hard is it in your first outing, Nick, to come out and sit down 5 batters in a row? You've been cold for a while after the spring season. As the 1-1 is another fastball for a strike. Would that impress you more as a scout if you're watching his first outing knowing he hasn't pitched in a while?
I think any guy who can come in here and strike out as many guys and just get as many outs as Kersipper has is impressive, regardless of where he's come from, what he's done. But it's not an easy thing to do.
1-2 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 3. Kersipper has 6 strikeouts on 7 hitters and 2 clean innings. 5-1 Wareham as we head to the top of the 7th.
Redshirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedoms. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Redshirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
South Coast Health Operators of Charlton Memorial, St. Luke's, and Toby Hospitals delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as Southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Healthcare, plus something more.
Here we are again for the top of the 7th inning. The Gatemen coming to bat and facing a new pitcher.
Yeah, Sebastian Keene, the right-hander out of Northeastern, Nick, a 6 ERA and 4 appearances on the season. He's thrown 12 innings, given up 14 hits and 4 walks with 13 strikeouts.
The right-hander takes the mound. He'll go up against Tommy Troy, Jimmy Crooks, and Yohandy Morales to start it off for the Gatemen, who lead 5-1 in this one. It's been an offensive explosion after a few slow games for the Gatemen. They scored 4 last night, but the pitching didn't back them up. The games before that were an absolute grind offensively, and nice to see them get it going, swinging the bats here in Chatham.
And a change behind the plate as well. Dominic Temez from McLennan Community College behind the plate. He is committed to Alabama, though, for this upcoming fall.
Played his first year at Arkansas and went to McLennan Community College, now off to Alabama. One of a number of journeymen throughout their college careers that we've seen here in the Cape League.
So common in baseball.
And it's becoming more common in other sports as well. As Tommy Troy stands in the right-hand batter's box, takes strike 1.
I just remember when I first started calling baseball games, I would look at guys' bios and think, oh, this guy's been to 4 different schools, but it really isn't all that rare for guys to move around to 2, 3, 4 different schools.
Tommy Troy goes right back up the middle for a base hit. He takes a big turn around first, and now he's going to chug for second base. The throw is in time to get him, not even close. Tommy Troy cut down on the base paths yet again, and after a base hit, tries to stretch it a little bit too far.
Tommy Troy on the base paths today has just been flat out not good so far, Nick. He's caught stealing at second. That's a routine base hit that he tries to stretch into a double and got thrown out by 6 or 7 feet.
Well, I think I said an aggressive turnaround first, and then for a moment I was just like, he's not stopping. He's going to chug for second base. He was thrown off by 4 steps. Jimmy Crooks at the dish now, sends a high pop fly behind the plate. That's twisting out of play on the third base side.
You just have to be better than that. I understand if you want to be aggressive on the bases, but on a routine single to center field, you cannot try and stretch it into too much.
It was toward the gap in left center to give him a little bit of a break, but Caden Trenkle was over there quickly. This time he fielded it cleanly after making an error earlier in the game and had Troy by plenty. Now it's Jimmy Crooks with a 1-1 count and fouls that one straight back to the screen. 1 out here with the bases empty in the top of the 7th inning. 5-1 lead for Wareham. Keen feet together on the first base side of the rubber. Now out of the windup. Crooks fouls it off again.
Well, he's reached on his birthday and scored a run. He just needs that birthday hit. It's so funny to watch him in the dugout with Jim Jarvis because Jarvis is used to being called Jimmy at Alabama. So when somebody says Jimmy, they both turn around.
The 1-2 swing and a miss. Crooks down on strikes, and that's the second out of the 7th for Sebastian Keene. Jack, you're probably no stranger to that, though. Jack's a pretty common name. Nick is as well.
Well, funnily enough, a lot of my friends.
Did you say funnily?
Yeah.
I love it.
So that's what a 40-year-old would use?
I don't know if it's even a word.
It is.
It might be. Make funny an adverb? Is that an adverb?
People use that all the time.
That doesn't mean it's a word.
Story.
I love it. Okay. Yohandy fouls one off, and you feel free to call me out whenever I make a grammatical mistake or make up a word. I'm not trying to go after you. It's just funny. It's funnily.
I was going to say, funnily enough, most of my friends and people that I know will call me Sadigan, and that's kind of what I'll go by at school.
Okay.
So I don't
Not
really
the
have to
most
worry
common
about
last
the
name.
Jack thing.
The 0-2 to Morales misses low. It's a fastball at 92 from Sebastian Keene. Now I'm second-guessing myself. Funnily might be a
Funnily
word.
enough is a phrase that is used regularly in day-to-day life.
The 1-2 chop toward third. Castagnazzi can't handle it, and it goes into shallow left. It was a hot shot off the bat of Morales.
And I will hesitantly rule that a base hit. We've had our battles with official scores, Nick. And luckily the official score today not near us, listening to exactly what we say. So I think that should be a base hit, but we'll see.
It is tough because we've had our troubles, as you said, Jack. And in Wareham, the official score sits directly to our right.
And it is.
And in Wareham, they've always done a very good job, and they always do a very good job throughout the Cape League. But it is funny when we're trying to eject our own calls, and they're trying to make a call, and they can hear everything we're saying. As Cade Kern stands in, grounds one foul on the third base side.
They did rule that one a hit.
Two singles in the inning for the Gatemen. Morales, the lone base runner with 2 outs, as a good breaking ball buckles Cade Kern. Keene ahead 0-2.
Kern's had some opportunities with runners on today. The first chance was in the second. He reached on an error, and a run came in, but then struck out looking with the bases loaded in the 5th.
Kern 0 for 3 tonight, waits for the 0-2, and that hit him. Looked like it caught him right below the armpit, maybe in the ribs on the lead side, his left side, as a right-handed hitter, but he appears to be just fine. Tosses the bat and heads down to first base.
Third Gateman that's been hit tonight, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
That was the scouting report coming into this game for the Chatham staff. Struggling with control, walking a lot of guys, hitting batters.
Gatemen, for the most part tonight, have taken advantage of the free base runners.
They have. There have been now 3 walks and 3 batters hit.
So here's Cameron James, runner at second, runner at first, 2 outs in the inning. Righty-righty matchup. And he slices a ball toward right field. Matt Hogan moving in on it to make the catch, and that is out number 3. Gatemen threaten, come up scoreless. Stretch time here in Chatham. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 5-1.
Feel the power of a GMC. Test drive one today at Robertson's GMC, down on Cranberry Highway.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. Located on the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Discover Keystone Place, the best option in Cape Cod.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Anglers coming to the plate down 5-1. Cole Kirschipper back on the mound for the Gatemen. He's been brilliant so far. He'll face Hogan to lead it off, the 5-hitter, starting in right field tonight for Chatham. Fastball at 90 miles per hour, taken on the outside corner. 4 strike 1.
I feel like brilliant isn't even a good enough word to describe it. He's struck out 6 of 7 he's faced. The lone blemish is a walk.
It's a breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Jimmy Crooks. Nobody on, nobody out. This is the first hitter of the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a ground ball just past Kirschipper. Troy tries a backhand play, and it's off his glove. Slow roller would have been tough, but Troy not able to come up with it cleanly and get a throw over to their first to even give it a chance.
I don't know how I would score it because I didn't see well enough on the baseline how far Hogan was along to first as to whether that throw would have been in time if he was able to play it cleanly. I'm inclined to call it an error, but not sure.
I was thinking the opposite, honestly.
I think you could go either way.
It could. We'll see what they come up with. Hogan at first base is all that matters for the Gatemen right now, as he's the leadoff man on, and Josh Rivera the shortstop at the plate. Troy shaded up the middle at second base. Everybody else playing straight away. Man from Florida, Josh Rivera takes a fastball off the inside corner. That's ball 2.
And it was awarded a single to Hogan. Like I said, I could see it either way. I think that's a fine call.
So Tommy Troy avoids an error. The base runner ruled to be Kirschipper's fault. Granted, it was a well-executed pitch and a slow-rolling ground ball. He gets a fastball over the plate. The count goes to 2-1 on Rivera.
Yeah, and as I mentioned already, 6 strikeouts on the night. 10 Chatham Anglers have struck out tonight.
That one gets over the inside corner for a strike as well. A couple fastballs, a couple tough pitches from Cole Kirschipper, and he is right back in this count, 2-2.
Last time these two teams played, Wareham, their strikeout high on the season, they struck out 19 Anglers.
19 strikeouts and 1 hit for Chatham the first time these two teams met. 1 hit for Chatham, or check that, 2 hits for Chatham on the night tonight.
Yeah, 19 strikeouts, 1 hit, and a tie. And it felt like Wareham was escaping with the tie in the bottom of the 9th as the winning run came to second.
The payoff pitch to Rivera, swing and a miss. Crooks goes to first base. He's safe. Jimmy Crooks with a throw behind Hogan, the runner, and he was back just in time, but Kirschipper, concerned about the batter, gets him to swing through a high fastball for strike 3.
That was a close back pick from Crooks, an absolute laser to first, and Hogan just barely beat the tag back.
The secondary lead was big for Hogan. Crooks took notice and gave it a try on the last pitch of the at-bat. Jake DeLeo into pinch hit in the 5th inning. Swung through a first pitch breaking ball from Cole Kirschipper. Meanwhile, Kirschipper now 7 strikeouts in 9 batters faced. That one grabs the inside corner, 0-2 on Jake DeLeo. Infield double play depth for the Gatemen. Outfield straight up, spread out. As the lefty kicks and deals. Crooks looks at first base, no play that time.
That was a good block by Crooks, just picked it out of the dirt on a breaking ball that was well out of the zone. Crooks had to slide to his right.
1-2 is the count, 1 out in the inning. Kirschipper checks the runner out of the stretch. That one's fouled back to the screen.
Score update. Hyannis defeating Orleans 13-1. They've won their 2nd game in a row, Nick.
Wow.
And we have to play them in a 2-game series after this. Hottest they've been on the season. With their first time winning back-to-back games.
Ball and 2 strikes. The pitch from Kirschipper fouled off to the right side, out of play.
And I talked about this road stretch for Wareham being a big one. I felt like they needed to split against Chatham and Brewster, get one of those two, and get both against Hyannis, and they'd be probably either 1 game back from second or right back tied for that 2nd spot in the West. They could get a game back tonight as Cotuit loses to Brewster, 2-1.
And they're in a good position to do it here, up 5-1. Runner on first base for Chatham, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Kirschipper, waist-high leg kick, delivers a pitch that misses inside.
That was a good pitch. Thought he might get the strike call.
Fastball set between 90 and 92 from Kirschipper. The southpaw out of the University of Illinois has come on strong in his first outing with the Gatemen. Try the 2-2. That one's fouled off. DeLeo not going down easy.
And we talked about it earlier, but so nice to have another lefty on the staff. The lefties that we've had this summer have done well. Kindreich, who was drafted. Then Garrett Smeltz, strikeout master. Hunter Skillport, good setup man and closer so far this season. And now Kirschipper.
The 2-2, that's fouled away again. Jake DeLeo hanging tough out of Georgia Tech.
When they made the change to DeLeo to get the righty-lefty on Kirschipper in the 5th.
DeLeo hit .254, 2 home runs this year at Georgia Tech. He waits for a 2-2 pitch, and that misses down. Kirschipper couldn't get the fastball by him, so he tried with the breaking ball. It finished just above the dirt. Crooks gloved it. It was ball 3. So the count goes full. Runner on first base, 1 out. The pitch is grounded to the left side, fielded by Cameron James. Now he drops it, tries to go to first, and there's no play. Cameron James tried to come up with it, couldn't collect it cleanly, and that should be scored as an error to put 2 runners on base with 1 out in the inning.
And I knew he was going to miss it right when he was coming up to it because he had his glove right on the ground, basically on the grass, but wasn't close enough that he was going to get that super low hop and ended up hopping up onto his wrist and then bounced away to his left, and he was unable to make a play. But Cameron James, who DH'd, getting another look at third, and I think just not quite back used to that hot corner.
And it's tough because they're rotating so many guys in at third base,
right.
The Gatemen. Brannigan plays third. That's his primary position, essentially. Yohandy Morales, a third baseman as well. He's over at first base tonight. Cameron James, a third baseman. Sean McLean, of course, came in and starting at third base the last few nights. So big swing and a miss right there from Johnny Castagnazzi, the third baseman.
Couple of bad breaks for Kirschipper so far. A very weak infield single, and now an error by his third baseman, Cameron James, to put runners on first and second with 1 out.
Kirschipper with 2 straight fastballs to Castagnazzi, swings through both of them.
He was up on DeLeo, then struggled to get the fastball by him. But I think 0-2 is a great chance to go with another fastball.
You do a couple things here if you're Kirschipper. We'll see what he elects to do. Crooks makes the call. Kirschipper likes it. Here's the pitch. Got him. Fastball blew it right by him at 89 miles per hour. And the second out of the inning heads back to the dugout. Now 8 strikeouts for Cole Kirschipper.
He continues to deal. Struck out the side in the 5th and the 6th, and a chance to do it in the 7th against the 9-hitter Logan Britt, who he already struck out once in the 5th.
Threw that one well in front of the plate, and Jimmy Crooks with a great stop.
That was a big-time stop. We saw the pass ball in the 3rd that allowed Chatham's only run to come in, but a big stop on a one-hopper that would have moved 2 runners into scoring position.
Kirschipper set for the 1-0 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Crooks gets another ball from the home plate umpire, Jason Klump. Klump had a good night back there. Been very consistent calling balls and strikes, at least from what we can tell. Hasn't heard it from either dugout. At least not like some of the other umpires here in the Cape League have been hearing it from Don Snedden over the past couple games. Of course, a 6-game losing streak will do that to any manager as a breaking ball misses low and in.
Well, Don is what we call a gentle nudger of the umpire. He just
do.
It's just little comments throughout the game that'll say to the home plate umpire,
"Get your act together."
His voice just high enough that the umpire can hear.
Fastball caught the inside corner. The 9-hitter Logan Britt at the plate faces a 2-2 count. 2 outs in the inning, runners at first and second for Chatham. They're down 5-1, being out hit by the Gatemen 9-2. That's where we stand in the bottom of the 7th. Britt calls time and steps out. Kirschiper wants to go. Now he steps off.
And they're going to call time as a fire truck pulls out in right field. You can get the batter's eye with all the lights going off as Logan Britt tries to focus on the pitch. Fire station.
Kirschiper wanted to use it to his advantage. But here we go with the 2-2 pitch. Fastball missed up and away.
I wouldn't say that. I just don't think he knew that there was a fire truck because he's looking at the plate.
So now a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Logan Britt, the batter. Cole Kirschiper trying to get out of the inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cole Kirschiper with 9 strikeouts on his evening. Allows 2 base runners in the inning, but gets out of it unscathed. Will go to the 8th. Gatemen holding on to a 5-1 lead.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Get your glow on at Compassionate Med Spa. They're compassionate about getting your perfect skin. Come get your glow on. Call 774-678-7319. Mention this ad and get 25% off at Hydra Fee.
Here we are for the top of the 8th on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Thank you to all of our loyal listeners for joining us tonight. Nick Magas alongside Jack Sadegan. Gatemen lead in this one 5-1. They've out-hit Chatham 9-2. 1 error for our guys, 2 errors for their guys. As we start this 8th inning with Jim Jarvis at the plate. Lefty Jarvis stares down the right-handed Sebastian Keene out for his 2nd inning of work. Fouls a first pitch fastball straight back to the screen. Kenny Lavari, the defensive replacement for Chatham at third base. The breaking ball misses low and inside to Jarvis. Jimmy 2 strikes, 0 for 3 tonight. 3 flyouts for Jarvis as that one's popped back and out of play.
And the last one was really close to dropping in. It was a nice play by Hogan coming up in right field, making the catch.
Ball and 2 strikes on the shortstop out of Alabama. Fouled off toward the Gateman dugout on the first base side, fielded in the on-deck circle by Tres Gonzalez. See him in a minute for the 5th time tonight.
I'll be interested to see who Wareham brings out in the 8th and 9th. Kershipper could stay in. He's been phenomenal, striking out the side 3 innings in a row.
That's called strike 3. Backdoor slider from Sebastian Keene, and Jarvis takes a seat for the first out of the 8th.
But I think there's a good chance we see Hunter Skilport in the 8th and the 9th to help close out this win, give Wareham their first win in 7 games.
Tres Gonzalez took a fastball down Broadway for strike 1. 2 consecutive lefties in the Gateman order. The right-hander, Keene, delivers the 0-1, misses outside.
Gonzalez with a phenomenal at-bat his last time up. 10 pitches, fouled off 6 of them.
And he leaps out of the way of a fastball in the dirt.
But he finally was able to push a grounder up the middle for a base hit. It's the kind of stuff he's been doing since he's worked his way to the top of the lineup the last dozen games or so.
Tonight, 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. The 2-1. Driven out deep to center field. Going back on it is Trenkle. Trenkle treks it down on the warning track. That is a beautiful read, jump, and catch by Caden Trenkle on a ball hit on a line off the bat of Tres Gonzalez.
And Gonzalez's line drives tail to the left as they start to hook off of his left-handed bat. But Trenkle all the way, had a confident track on the ball and made a nice catch over his shoulder for the second out. Probably the hardest hit ball I've seen off Gonzalez's bat so far this season.
I would agree with you, Jack. There was a chance it would have gotten out of the ballpark, but with the jump and the read that Trenkle had, you knew that it wouldn't get down in the ballpark. He had a good beat on it and just confident the whole way as McLean steps in, took strike 1, and now fouls off a pitch for strike 2.
Well, the most important thing a lot of times for outfielders, everyone sees the end of the catch when they make the nice play, but it's that initial read and jump. You have to have a good first step to be able to get a 50-50 fly ball.
The 0-2 to McLean, taken low on his shins for ball 1. Keene out of the windup from the first base side of the rubber. Ball and 2 strikes. The pitch is fouled off. Sean McLean, 2 for 3 tonight. A home run, a single. He was hit by a pitch and stranded at third. Also scored a couple runs for the Gatemen. By far his most productive night since he came on with the team a few days ago. Fouls another one back. Keene came into this one with a 6.00 ERA on the Cape League season, pitching for Chatham for the 5th time. He's been good tonight, has not allowed a run yet.
Oh, and he's keeping it within range, although Wareham is comfortable up 4. The bats have gone quiet recently since Keene came on.
McLean protecting the plate, hanging tough with 2 strikes.
A lot of base runners for Wareham tonight, though, something we haven't seen over the 6-game losing streak. They've missed some opportunities with runners on, but there haven't been a lot of them. There's been plenty of opportunities tonight.
The 1-2 pitch ripped hard down the third baseline and foul. McLean just couldn't straighten it out. Would have certainly been extra bases if it were 1 foot closer to the field of play.
Well, Sean McLean has had himself a day, and he ripped one down the third base line. I thought that was fair from the initial view we had. Obviously, the third base umpire Jim Byrne has far better one than we do. But so close to a double for McLean. He's already got a home run, a base hit, and has been hit by a pitch today.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. The breaking ball gets McLean, and that's the third out of the inning. We'll send it to the bottom of the 8th. Stay with us on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
We appreciate your support. Leading off for the
Bottom 8 with Kirschipper back on the mound. 5-1 lead for the Gatemen. Nick Magas and Jack Sadigan joining you once again on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Here we go, Nick. 6 more outs to close out and finally get that coveted W.
The wins don't come easy these days, as that one's sent high into the air left field. Diodati tracking it down toward the line, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Kirschipper deep into this game now after coming on a few innings ago, and nice efficient 1-pitch, 1 out off the bat of Danny Soretti, the leadoff man.
Kirschipper only averaged a couple of innings per outing at Illinois, but he did have 4 starts for the Fighting Illini.
Caden Trenkle takes a fastball down the middle for strike 1. Trenkle out of Hillsboro, Texas, playing at Oklahoma State. Kirschipper, a breaking ball that dives away from the left-handed bat of Trenkle. Count is 0-2. Said that a number of times tonight with Kirschipper on the mound, as that one's checked up and lined softly to third. An excuse-me swing from Caden Trenkle, who poked that one to third base, and the play was made by Cameron James. A soft line out, 4 pitches and 2 outs for Cole Kirschipper.
A career high for Kirschipper, now in his 4th inning of work, was 6 2/3 against Elon. That was March 7th in 2020.
Lyle Miller Green now stands in, the 6'5" first baseman. Took a breaking ball in the dirt.
This past season, the most innings he threw was 6 against Michigan State on April 16th. So he certainly can extend, but usually doesn't.
Fastball grabs the inside corner. 1-1 the count on the big man. Facing Kirschipper for the 2nd time tonight. He walked in the 6th. That was his first trip to the plate against the left-hander out of Illinois. Fastball misses high and in. On the evening, Miller Green 0 for 2.
And I love that he's coming to the plate late with nobody on base, because even though he's 0 for 2, he's now tied for 2nd in the league with 6 home runs, but dangerous to go yard at any time as that pitch misses to make it 3-1.
Drive-in runs all over the ballpark is what he's done all season. All 4 RBI in the game right here. The first time these two teams played each other. Kirschipper deals the 3-1. That's fouled off. Once again, Cole Kirschipper battling his way back into a count. And has it full on Lyle Miller Green. Miller Green, the first batter to reach base in Kirschipper's outing. Faced a full count the first time he came to the plate against the lefty. And he walked on the first payoff pitch he saw. Now the same situation with 2 outs and the base is empty. Kirschipper out of the windup. The pitch fouled off.
It's tough with Miller Green because you have him in a full count and you want to throw your best pitch, which is a fastball, which he just fouled back. But Miller Green also a fastball hitter. Pulls a lot of fastballs for home runs.
Lefty Kirschipper on righty Miller Green. The 3-2. Line to shortstop. Jarvis fields it on a hop, takes a couple steps toward first and gets out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cole Kirschipper, and he is cruising. 5-1 lead for the Gatemen. We'll be back.
Cape Cod Healthcare offers a comprehensive array of medical services delivered by top-notch teams of healthcare providers. Their physicians provide the best evidence-based and proven medicine at their state-of-the-art facilities. If you need them, they'll be there.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the Cape Cod Baseball League and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to providing tools and resources for your sustained well-being. We recognize the vital role of preventative medicine in your health journey and want to help you not only get well, but stay well.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. In-person and high-flex classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about the programs in business, accounting, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
5-1 Wareham as we head to the 9th. The Gatemen trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. They are 3 outs away, but first, a chance to add some insurance with Owen Diodati, Tommy Troy, and Jimmy Crooks coming to the plate. Sebastian Keene still on the mound for the Anglers. Now his 3rd inning of work. Has yet to give up a hit or a run. Or excuse me, he has given up hits. I just forgot to mark him down. First pitch to Diodati's a ball. He's given up 2 hits, excuse me.
These late games are tough, Jack.
The 1-0 to Diodati is a fastball down the middle for a strike. Diodati 1 for 4. The one was an opposite field home run to left, a 2-run shot in the 3rd. Wareham hasn't scored since the 5th. They scored in 4 of the first 5 innings. That pitch fouled straight back, so now a ball and 2 strikes to Diodati. Chatham's lone run came in the 3rd off a pass ball from Jimmy Crooks.
2 home runs on the evening for the Gatemen, one of them from Diodati and the other from the man before him in the order, Sean McLean, his first of the Cape League season.
1-2 pitch popped out of play.
And for a team that has hit a number of home runs on the season, Diodati the only one as of late who'd been putting the ball out of the yard until McLean stepped up.
Yeah, the home runs have sort of come to a halt recently. But now 20 on the season for Wareham. Another 1-2 pitch, hammered to center field. That backs up Trenkle to the warning track. He reaches up and makes the catch. Caden Trenkle currently patrolling a no-fly zone in center field, and there's one away in the top of the 9th. 5-1 Wareham. Nobody on for Tommy Troy.
Tommy Troy has had an interesting night, Jack, to say the least.
It's been a tale of 2 nights. Excellence at the plate and struggles on the bases. He's 3 for 3 with 3 base hits, including an RBI single in the 5th. He's also drawn a walk, but he's been picked off caught stealing and tagged out trying to stretch a single into 2 bases. First pitch to Troy is a breaking ball low for ball 1.
Tommy's father, Tommy Troy IV, came over to talk to us a few innings ago. We've gotten to know him a little bit from these games, and we just kind of looked at him, and it was right after Tommy had gotten thrown out trying to take second base on the single. That one misses outside for a ball. And says, sorry, Mr. Troy, we've been a little tough on Tommy today. He's like, it's okay, he deserves it.
Said no one will be harder on Tommy than him. 2 balls and no strikes to Troy. The pitch checked up, but a strike on the outer half. Nice fastball at 91 miles per hour.
I mean, he's 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a walk. I mean, you can't ask for a better night at the plate.
That pitch low. 3-1 now to Troy. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Lined into center field. Troy's 4th hit of the night. This time he puts the brakes on at first. Takes only a couple steps off the bag before returning.
4 singles on the night for Tommy Troy. He's 4 for 4 with a walk. And on with 1 out for the Gatemen in the top of the 9th inning. You think he was going to try for second that time?
I was thinking about it. See if he's so enthusiastic on the bases with Jimmy Crooks at the plate. First pitch to Crooks, low and inside for ball 1.
Crooks has been a different story tonight. It is his birthday, as we've said, every time he comes to the plate looking for that birthday hit. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored, and one more chance to get it here.
He did get that walk and the run. 1-0 pitch. Chopped to the right side. Miller Green has his throw to second, is off the bag. Troy heading for third. He's safe at third. And Crooks holds up at first.
Well, Miller Green just didn't get an angle on that throw. Picked it up right in the baseline, and when Tommy Troy's going from first to second, it's tough for him to try and get that throw to second base without getting outside the baseline, so he has a way to make that throw. Otherwise, you're trying to throw over the head of the runner or around the shoulder of the runner, and that's the problem he had in that situation. It pulled the shortstop off the bag and puts runners on the corners for the Gatemen with 1 out.
4th Chatham error tonight. Yohandy Morales at the plate now and takes a slider low and away for ball 1. Troy at third, Crooks at first. Wareham trying to add to a 5-1 lead in the 9th. There's 1 out for Morales.
10 hits now for the Gatemen. 2 of them belong to Morales. He's 2 for 3.
He also drew a walk. That pitch a fastball inside. Now 2-0 to Morales. Keene with the 2-0 delivery, cut on and missed.
Morales not satisfied with singles. He wanted every bit of that hanging slider from Keene. Took a huge swing and came up empty.
That pitch, a fastball for a strike. 2-2 now to Morales.
Cool, clear evening here in Chatham. Fans starting to thin out. 4-run deficit for the home team in the top of the 9th.
Throw over to first to check on Crooks. This is a field that averages over 2,100 fans per game, and I think we might have gotten over that number tonight, but might be about half of that here right now.
Definitely felt like it on a Monday night, no less.
2-2 swung on and missed. Morales' first strikeout of the night. the fourth strikeout for Sebastian Keene, and now 2 away in the top of the ninth. Runners on the corners for Cade Kern. Yet another opportunity for Kern with runners in scoring position, trying to add to a 5-1 lead.
2 for 4 last night. Tonight, it's been tough sledding. 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Reached on an error as well.
First pitch to Kern, fouled back. Came up with the bases loaded, struck out. The time he reached on an error, a run scored.
Ultimately stranded at second base was Kern in that inning.
Here's the 0-1. Fastball low. Ball and a strike to Cade Kern. Wareham up 5-1, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. They have a chance to get within 1 game of second place Katuitt, who lost to Brewster tonight, 2-1. They are 9.5 games back from first place Bourne. Feels like a race for second in the West. Bourne currently tied with Falmouth at Doran Park, 5-5 in the top of the 7th. They were up 5-2 early in the game. Runners on the corners, 2 away in the top of the 9th at Veterans Field. 5-1 Wareham lead. Here's a 1-1 to Kern. Swung on and missed, got a fastball by him.
Much like Morales, Kern wants every bit of these keen pitches, and he's a guy who hit .325 this year at Ohio State in his freshman year. That was tied for 9th in the Big Ten. I think his mindset coming into the Cape League is he wants to show off that he can hit for power after hitting just 1 home run this year. But
he showed that early.
He did, but the batting average has suffered as a result of that.
1-2 pitch, low and outside on a slider.
So much of hitting, actually all of hitting, is really in the approach. And when you come to the plate with a certain mindset, there's good things and bad things that can happen with each mindset that you bring forth. But it's so apparent as you get to see hitters often what their approach is, what it entails, and what they're looking for.
The 2-out, 2-2 pitch. On the way. And driven into right field, that gets down. Troy will score. Crooks rounding third. And he holds up there. Kern, a long round off of first, but retreats back to the bag. Now 6-1 Wareham in the 9th.
That is Cade Kern simplifying. We saw him do that a couple times last night. And with a 2-strike count, got a pitch he could handle on the outer half. Didn't try and do too much. Just kept his weight back, drove it the other way, and stayed right through the baseball to drive in an insurance run for the Gatemen.
5-run lead. Cameron James at the plate. Same scenario. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The first pitch to James is a breaking ball for a strike on the inner half. James tonight, 0 for 3. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball, this time well inside. James backing up out of the way. A ball and a strike to the third baseman out of Mississippi State. Part of the championship team this season, him and Kellum Clark coming to Wareham. The 1-1 pitch fouled off.
And that's really, really good by Dominic Temez behind the plate. That foul ball caught him on the inside of the right ankle, and he was up. The umpire was going to give him time and clean off the plate, but he knows his pitcher's in a rhythm. He wants to get down, get behind the plate, and help him get out of this inning. He has 2 strikes on James, a hitter who's been struggling, and a catcher showing off his toughness right there. Getting back down behind the plate. He's clearly not comfortable, but he wants his pitcher to get out of this inning.
2 outs, 1-2 pitch. Lined into left field for a base hit. Crooks will score, and Cameron James has his first Cape League hit, an RBI single on a line drive to left field. 7-1 Gatemen in the 9th.
Couple guys wagging that hand up in the air asking for that baseball from the Gatemen dugout as Cameron James, it was a long time coming, gets his first Cape League hit.
And another big insurance run for Wareham. They now have 2 runs in the 9th and more fans at Chatham starting to file out of the park.
So Conference on the mound, and a quick pat on the rear end for Keene from the Chatham pitching coach, Dennis Cook. Just some words of encouragement. Not really a situation where you want to burn another arm.
And they won't.
Just trying to help your guy get out of this inning without allowing any more damage. To this point, Keene had been very good. Hadn't allowed a run before this inning through a few innings of work against these Gatemen hitters, but they've gotten his number here in the top of the 9th.
Jarvis looking for his first hit tonight, swings at the first pitch and bloops it into left field for a hit. Kern coming around third, he will score as the ball is bobbled by Britt. 8-1 now. And Wareham looking like they're going to snap that losing streak. 3 runs in the 9th.
Well, at this point, you almost want him to save some runs for tomorrow. Hopefully the Gatemen have more left in the tank against Hyannis on the road tomorrow and Wednesday. But for now, we'll take as many as we can get.
Treskenzahl up now. That was Jarvis's first hit of the night. His 11th RBI of the season. Three straight RBI singles for Wareham to bring 3 across in the 9th. Now up 8-1. Those were all with 2 outs. First pitch to Gonzalez is hammered to center field. Trenkel back to the track. He makes the catch. Nothing new from Caden Trenkel, tracking down another fly ball. But Wareham, 3 runs off of 4 hits. They leave 2 on the bases. And a chance to snap that losing streak as we head to the 9th. An 8-1 lead on the Gatemen Baseball Network. (8-1) Wareham. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Jack Sadiq and Nick Magas. And in to close things out is Jack Noble, the right-hander out of Long Beach State.
Temez coming to the plate. In the game for Romero Jr., who started behind the dish for the Anglers tonight.
First time we've seen Jack Noble since he was hit in the nose with the ball.
That was pregame a couple days ago.
First pitch to Dominic Temez is a breaking ball for a strike. Temez's first AB of the night after he subbed in for Romero. The 0-1, lifted foul over the right side.
Noble on this one with a 1.68 ERA. This is his third outing for the Gatemen. Did that across 5 1/3 innings pitched. And following up a good year at Long Beach State.
Yeah. Bloodied and bruised nose in all. He's taken to the mound in the 9th. 0-2 pitch. A breaking ball upstairs. Wareham 3 outs away from snapping a 6-game losing streak. Would love to stop talking about that. They got 3 insurance runs in the top of the 9th off of 3 straight RBI singles. As that pitch is lifted skyward to left field. Backing up is Jarvis from his spot at shortstop, making the catch near the foul line and left. Jarvis went a long way for that. 2 outs away are the Gatemen.
Now batting for the Anglers from Vanderbilt, the right fielder, number 5, Matt Hogan.
Matt Hogan at the plate now, 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 7th. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 9th. 8-1 Gatemen. And the first pitch to the lefty Hogan is hitting the air to left field. Gonzalez coming on, and that drops fair. Just got in under Gonzalez. A couple defensive changes for Wareham that we failed to mention. Ferguson center and Gonzalez in left. But Gonzalez went a long way for that and was unable to track it down. It's a double for Matt Hogan.
Well, that dropped just inside the foul line, and then Gonzalez actually kicked it into foul territory.
Maybe he thought they wouldn't notice.
I don't think he did it on purpose, but not the cleanest play.
That was the first extra base hit of the night for Chatham. Matt Garcia to the plate. Switch hitter, so he goes lefty against Noble, and the first pitch to him is a breaking ball inside for ball 1. Rivera went 0 for 3. Runner on second with 1 out. 8-1 Gatemen. The 1-0 pitch fouled straight back.
So the play out in left field from Tres Gonzalez on the ball that dropped, not ideal, but highlights a good point about not playing extra innings here in the Cape League. Cade Ferguson defensively in center field. Tres Gonzalez, obviously the 2 with Cade Kern, the 3 best defensive outfielders that the Gatemen have, and where they don't have to worry about coming back to the plate in any situation. It's okay to take the starting left fielder and the best bat, one of the best bats in the Cape League, Diodati, out of the game.
That pitch missed inside. Now 2-1 to Garcia. Garcia on the season, a 204 hitter. No homers, 3 RBIs. 2-1 pitch. Chopper, left side. Jarvis has it, throws to first for the second out. Morales to throw back to third. That throw is late, trying to get Hogan.
Now batting for the Anglers, the designated hitter from Georgia Tech, number 2.
Morales made that throw across the diamond accurately to try and get the runner rounding third base, Matt Hogan, but the Gatemen saw that play not go as well a couple nights ago at home in an Orleans game where they made 4 errors. Ultimately lost that game 5-4. It was a Kellum Clark throw across the diamond that got away and brought in another run.
3 of them in 1 inning. It was a 4-run inning for Orleans. That propelled them to the 5-4 victory. 2 away here, though. In the bottom of the 9th. 8-1 Wareham. Jake DeLeo to the plate. Takes the pitch upstairs for ball 1. Runner on third It's Matt Hogan. Noble doesn't seem too worried about him. The 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball for a strike.
I wouldn't be too worried about him if I were Noble. It's an 8-1 game. The tying run is somewhere in the dugout right now.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Slider for a strike. Wareham 1 strike away. And a win today puts them a game back from second place Katuitt. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Chopper above Noble's head, charged by Troy. His throw to first is in time. Wareham snaps a 6-game losing streak with a convincing 8-1 win over Chatham. They out-hit the Anglers 13-3 and improved to 8-12-4. The Anglers drop to 9-13-3. Well, you can breathe a sigh of relief, Nick. The losing streak is over.
I can sleep easy now. And so can these guys. It's a good feeling heading to Hyannis in the next couple days. For the next couple games, hopefully a chance to pick up 2 more wins. But Hyannis snapped the losing streak yesterday. They're now on a 2-game win streak. We can't take those for granted. And we'll send it away for now and be back with a post-game show.
Your final, Wareham 8, Chatham 1. Post-game show in a moment on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the Wareham Gatemen, the 9 other teams, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2021 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize
the Yawkey Foundation, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod,
Badger Sport, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cent Savings Bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Marys,
Fairway Financial, Ocean Spray, Seaside Le Mans, Rogers Gray, Franklin Sports,
Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce,
Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Highness Area Chamber of Commerce,
HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Quest Diagnostics, Cape Space. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
The Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask for your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or any other intimidating actions will not be tolerated. Thank you. We ask parents to keep their children off the roofs of the dugouts, away from the batting cages, and out of the bullpen areas. Please throw rubbish into the barrels and recycle the aluminum cans in special bins located around the park.
Ladies and gentlemen, state law prohibits the use of any tobacco product on school property. Thanks for keeping us in compliance.
Cameras and video cameras are permitted inside Spillane Field for personal photos but cannot be used to reproduce the game, players, or on-field events without the express written permission of the Wareham Gatemen. Use of camera or video equipment must not interfere with other fans' enjoyment of the game.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. piled high on grilled brioche, and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw.
Welcome into the Gatemen post-game show. Jack Sadiq and Nick Magas. The Gatemen snapped the losing streak. It was 6 games. Now it's over. An 8-1 win over Chatham. Here's the scoring line. 8 runs off of 13 hits and 4 Chatham errors for Wareham. Chatham 1 run off of 3 hits and 1 Wareham error. A convincing way to get out of a 6-game losing streak, Nick.
Yes, it was. We wanted the bats to wake up, and we wanted them to put together a complete performance. That was the biggest thing we talked about before the game. I think they did just that. They put 8 runs on the board. They don't allow an earned run, and that is exactly what the Gatemen needed to try and get things back on the right track.
And for bats that had been struggling, came to life early. It was sparked by Sean McLean in the first with that solo home run to left.
Yes, it was. His first of the Cape League season. His arrival has been nice for the Gatemen. That's the best way I can put it. 2 for 4 tonight with a hit by pitch. He had a home run and a single, a couple runs scored. He's a defensive stud. He can swing the bat as well. Some scouts were asking us about him before the game, and we had, not that that's really our area of expertise, but we had nothing but glowing things to say about the man out of Arizona State.
And the runs kept coming early. Another run in the second, and then the 2-run homer for Owen Diodati. He now leads the league with 7 home runs.
Diodati going the other way, taking a fastball to opposite field, to left center for the left-handed batter, showing off oppo power for the first time this year and taking over that league lead. Nice to, in the middle of a losing streak, not anymore, but nice to be able to say, at least for the Gatemen, we have the league leader in home runs on our team, a title that Diodati will hold proudly for as long as he can, and hopefully will add to that total soon.
It was 4-0 after 2.5. Then Chatham got their first and only run of the game in the bottom of the third off a pass ball from Jimmy Crooks. And Wareham, another run in the 5th, this time an RBI single for Tommy Troy. Troy 4 for 4 tonight, but the base running miscues kind of overshadowed some of his excellence at the plate.
I don't know if they overshadowed it. I mean, it turned into just a bit of a comedy of errors by the end of the night. But 4 for 4, reached base also with a walk. He was picked off, he was caught stealing, and he was thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. I think he was just tired of hitting singles. But, for Tommy Troy, it was a productive night at the plate. And we'll forgive him because of how good he really was on the offensive side.
And then in the 9th, Wareham, 3 more runs, some nice insurance. Came off of 3 straight RBI singles. Cade Kern and then Cameron James, who had his first Cape League hit off of that RBI single, and Jim Jarvis.
Yeah, the bottom of the order starting to produce for the Gatemen. They worked all the way through the order 5 times. Actually got Tres Gonzalez a 6th plate appearance in the 9th. So when you do that, it's pretty tough to lose a ball game. Nice for Cade Kern to get that hit after a slow night for him. And then Cameron James also picking up his first base knock of the CCBL season. Hopefully the first of many for the man out of Mississippi State.
Now let's highlight some of the pitching. It was good tonight. We got to see debuts from Mac Anglin and Cole Kershipper. We'll start with Anglin. 4 innings, he only gave up 1 run unearned off of a hit and 2 walks with 4 strikeouts. His fastball-slider combo was working.
Yeah, well, we talked about getting a lead early. We talked about insurance runs, but all of that only means so much if you can't pitch. Tonight, the Gatemen could pitch. Anglin, 4 innings pitched, did not allow an earned run. The pitch mix was working great. The fastball was up to 95. The slider was sitting in the mid to high 80s. It was a big league type slider. Only had to work in the curveball once or twice, but for him it was an excellent Cape League debut. Cole Kershipper might have even overshadowed him a little bit. More strikeouts than we can count. I think it was 9 by the end of the night. Was it 9? Yeah.
He struck out the side 3 innings in a row, and then finally didn't strike anybody out in his 4th inning of work in the 8th.
Yeah, 4 innings pitched for him. Also didn't allow an earned run. And then Jack Noble, just 1 inning of work for him, but builds on an already good Cape League season. 1 inning to close it out in the 9th. He was scoreless.
Yeah, 8-1 the final score. Wareham over Chatham, and they gain a game on second place Cotuit, who fell to Brewster tonight 2-1. Cotuit was 2 games ahead of Wareham in the standings coming into this game. Wareham tied for 3rd with Falmouth, and Falmouth currently trailing the Braves 8-6. right now in the bottom of the 7th. That game was under rain delay, so got started a little bit late.
Are we happy they're getting it in? I mean, at some point you just wanted to get canceled the way they're – I mean, we always want more baseball, but the way they're doing the standings this year, it would have been nice to have 2 divisional teams not play a game tonight.
It would have, but a Braves win essentially keeps Wareham in that same race for second they've always been in. Bourne came in 9.5 games ahead of Wareham, 7.5 games ahead of second place Katuitt. It really is a race for second at this point, Nick.
It is, and I'm starting to get the feeling that it's going to come down to the wire. We are well past the halfway point of the season. 3 teams still battling it out with Bourne pulling it away. Hyannis picked up their second win in a row tonight, but still well into the basement of the division, and it'll be a battle for second. The top 2 teams moving on to the postseason, and everybody wants a chance to do it.
Wareham has Hyannis for 2 games in a row. Coming up, 2 straight road games, and then a day off before the Gatemen will return back to home base following their longest 4-game away stand of the season. Your final tonight, Wareham Gatemen 8, Chatham Anglers 1. The Gatemen improved to 8-12-4. Chatham dropping to 9-13-3. Everybody have a great Monday night. Thank you so much for joining us on the Gatemen Baseball Network, and we'll see you tomorrow at Hyannis.